You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect the way you play me.
Hello, everyone, or viewers, should I say. Today, we'll be going through another match, and we'll be going into the major Week 3 Playday 1, where teams qvG Esports will be facing off against Vega Esports. And we will be joined by Pyro, our lovely caster. So, Pyro, what do we have on these teams?
I mean, at the moment, all we know is that qvG have won one and lost one, and that Vega Esports unfortunately haven't got a single point in this league yet. So both of them are towards the bottom end of the league, trying to bolster up their advantage here, trying to get their crucial points that they need to push further on in further weekdays. But I mean, for the map week, the two maps we've got today are going to be absolute crackers. We've got Chalet and we've got Cafe. I mean, what are your thoughts on them, Puffer?
I mean, it's kind of interesting for me. I have not casted him this month at least. I've been mostly going through Oregon and Clubhouse Villa, the generic maps. So
Oregon.
going through Chalet and Cafe first time, it's gonna be very interesting. I can say that the least, as it's something new. It's a new experience, and it's not as boring and generic and repetitive, I guess you could say. Especially,
Oh, Chalet and Border.
okay, yeah, we
Yeah, I
did.
realised they had a rehost. They had a revote, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, so that instead of cafe, it is border. I did not write down in my notes, so silly me. Border though, I haven't
Good.
seen it played until today in Talent
Same
League.
here.
I mean, 3 weeks in, hasn't been played once. I haven't seen it in any of the casts I've done since the start of the new season, and I've actually been secretly hoping for it. I mean, a lot of teams normally ban it. I mean, they don't really play it. It's almost like Emerald Plains in ranked right now. No teams want to play it. Every team insta bans it. So there are a
Yeah.
couple of decent, good strats that are on border.
So
But I mean,
yeah, I
we've
mean,
done the map ones, haven't we? So I mean, can you tell us about the staff votes here, Puffer?
the staff votes, well, I mean, it seems like qvG does have an upper hand when it comes to staff votes, and with an 83% of win rate from their side, I think they have, from their past, it seems like they're a lot more experienced, a lot better, and still hold the upper hand, but that does not mean anything for Vega Esports. So yeah, we're going to be going into the first map. We're going to be going starting off Chalet. Now, with qvG not banning first, we're going to have Vega banning the first attacker. I think Cade and Thatcher can already be assumed to be out of the game. Still very strong operators on the other hand. And actually, going speaking of the devil, Thatcher is instantly removed, so we can also count Cade out. Now for the next two bans, what's your thought on that, Pyro?
I'd like to see an Osa or a. It's difficult. You could say Osa for the window players. Window play is a massive thing on this site, but also Flores is also a default ban. We see it a lot of times. It's creeping up on that ban list. It's either one of those two, I think.
Most
Although
definitely.
Jackal is a very strong operator in this map. There is a lot of roam game. I
Hmm.
tend to see teams on the defensive side go for a long flank, go for a lot of rotation. So Jackal is definitely a good pick on the attack side. For the defensive side, I think you said it. Want to see Cade and Valkyrie.
Valkyrie?
Valkyrie on Chala. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Valkyrie being extremely strong, and yet again, speak of the devil, Kate is removed. Valkyrie being quite still in the meta, still very strong with her utility and intel gathering. She's extremely good, and actually, she's not going to get removed this match, and we're going to be seeing a bit of a removal on the Rooney side, which is an interesting pick. She's extremely strong against rushes, and of course, getting the main breach out of the way. It's still another gate you have to pass through. So, getting Rooney out of the game can make it a bit more simple. And actually, let's talk about the loadouts in sight. Normally, you see commonly places going downstairs, upstairs, but we're going to be starting Barn Gaming with a Mira in hand, which is extremely strong, especially on bar side. And since verticality is included, we can expect the Thorn and Wamai. Jäger and Mew just always love to have them. And yet again, we have Sledge, Yana, and Finka, which is just default because Nates have been in the meta extremely strong these couple of seasons, and of course Ace and Nomad just because those supports are extremely important to the cause, I guess you could say.
It's definitely that flank game as we're talking about with that Jackal. With that Jackal ban, Nomad's going to be an even more played operator this game. So I think that is the reason they went for Nomad. And you're talking about the mirror. There is a beautiful mirror with place that you can put
Attackers
it
need to
on
locate
the
and
split
defuse bomb.
between bar
Attackers
and
have
gaming.
located a bomb.
And I think that will definitely be played on the side of mirror here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Yeah,
bomb.
Mira is
Attackers
very
have
strong
located
on
a
this
bomb.
specific site. I mean, Mira is mostly strong anywhere. She does have some weaker sites that you could call out, and some weaker spots that you can have a bit of a better, easier job to take out. Now, of course, Mira right here on the site, she can be pretty well protected, especially because bars are extremely closed off. You don't have on the little connector that connects both sides, you don't have much windows. So, she's a very well protected operator. And of course, yet again here, she could maybe get taken out with a grenade from the library window, but that's still, have to keep in mind there's a Wamai, there's a Jaeger, there's a lot of things that keeping her safe. So that's just the backup strategy. And we're going into action phase, and we see already all operators mostly, it's a bit of a split push from office side and aqua, it seems like. And of course, going to library, you got to take second floor. Second floor and bar staging is extremely important as it just allows so much expansion and kills, utility waste, just everything to come into play for you.
It's that jungle shield that normally plays difference. I mean, you have to push from piano double door and get rid of that shield, as the shield playing on jungle is a massive advantage, especially on the side of Vega. You have weapons like the SMG, you have the MP5K, Thorns, SMG. There's so many good long range weapons that can just sit there and deny so many times. That is why we see the Thinker pushing up those from the bottom of the stairs there, trying to get rid and put pressure on that player playing on jungle stairs.
hmm And we already see Jaeger a bit more on West Main side, and it's going to be coming to a close gunfight as Breezy and his teammates, we mostly see them right now playing a vertical, and of course, Finka going from downstairs is going to be a bit of a pinch from both sides, and Jaeger getting spotted. He's going to be slowly getting taken out. Not quite yet in the action. They're going to take their precautions as Nomad still has her air jab in her pocket. Still two left to remaining, so she, flying shouldn't be too much of a problem for her. We see Sledge still upstairs, not giving a care about the Thorn or anyone going for a flank. Verticality is key, but they need to start slowly pushing up towards library side, taking out actually the mirror from above. Um, because it's an extremely important part. Because
Power
if you
position.
don't, yeah, it's just if you don't, you're going to be in big trouble as verticality is then on the defender side, and that's not what you want. But it seems like Team qvG is going to be actually ignoring most of the upstairs and moving on to first floor. Breezy right here, still on K9 trying to take a fight, maybe get a kill or two, and also Salim taking a lot of damage, not fully out, but on rate HP slowly. And there is a Finka there to back him up, and talking about the Finka, she starts pushing up on blue stairs, taking out Oxy. That's going to be the Thorn out of the game, pushing up into the library. She's going to be right now in a gunfight in a matter of seconds, pre-firing the mirror downstairs. Everyone's going to be dropping with a double kill from both sides, with of course Spooky being left alive on downstairs with not much HP. Geizo does actually manage to finish him off, and that's going to be a flawless round for qvG right now on attack.
It's that I think what could have happened that site. Vegas should have played that out. They had the power position, the double mirror. They had the most important shield. We're gonna get a rehost here, as I think there is some connection issues. It's a sound bug, so we're gonna have to have a rehost here. But that gives us a lot more time to talk about that round, because, in my honest opinion, there wasn't any kills for until a minute 15. I think the first kill came in at a minute. There was just so much going in the way of the defensive side there, going in the way of Vega, that they just walked in, got like the side of qvG, just managed to get that vital pick onto the player playing in that small box with the mirror. But I mean, if that pick didn't happen, that would have been such a hard position to
Mhm.
dismount. So I don't really know what happened there on the side of Vega. I think they just lost their gunfights, Puffo.
I mean, to be honest, I think the time QVG took to actually manage to pick off another player or two, it seems like I believe they were trying to get the perfect moment for that Finka to sneak up on that Thorn on Blue Stairs and just take action and start crushing all the strats down, taking out the mirror second floor already taken over. It was just the perfect timing, and they had a setup for it, and they executed it. But yeah, we should be still. We're going to a rehost, still a sandbug, which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah. Still, I think qvG did actually manage to set it up, get in the right positions at the right time, distractions, all that type of stuff. So the players weren't focused on the Finca going up blue stairs, but they were focused on Sledge, on K9 balcony, all that type of stuff. So it was the right execute at the right time.
It's a good execute to push both of them at the same time. I mean, you can't watch two angles at the same position, really. That's all it boiled down to. And as soon as they got that first pick, I mean, after the first pick, there was a triple kill coming out, all in quick succession, putting it down to a 1 versus 5, and eventually to that flawless round. It was just beautiful. And here's a
No,
question for you, Puffo.
busy.
What is the second? What will Vega do on the second round? Will they go to top floor? Will they go to bottom floor? Or will they retry the bar game site? Or even go to the living room dining?
I mean,
Not living room dining,
seeing
living room
how
kitchen.
qvG actually managed to expose those little gaps they had and take control of them, I think the downstairs side is the most safe, as you always have to push down or go from a breach. So if they're inside, no one can just sneak past them because of players, and even roamers will have intel on them, cameras, all that type of stuff. So I think downstairs is the right play. As upstairs, there can still people sneak up aqua without them knowing into bathroom, all that type of stuff. So I think downstairs is the most safe play. All they will, adapt a bit more on bar side, of course, getting a bit more protection on that thorn or blue stairs, something like that. They want to take precautions and take back what they did wrong.
It's hard on bottom floor. I mean, I think they would go top floor, but bottom floor is such a hard site because you have the big double wall that you spend so much focus on that teams just always opt to go for that backside push, push into main garage, push down of blue stairs, push into trench, get open the boiler double wall on the left side, open up the right side of the garage long, garage main, I call it, to watch any sort of rotations pushing down from split from into blue. So downstairs is a particularly hard site to master as a defense. You need to have the correct players. You need to have the correct mentality. You can't be pushing. You need to force the attackers to push onto you. The one good thing I do say about about bottom floor though is the potential for roam.
Yeah.
You're on bottom floor. There's 2 floors. Normally we see teams push from top floor down to bottom floor. So you go from top floor to mid floor, and then finally towards the last minute, a minute 30 seconds, you will see them all collapse towards the site, encroaching the attackers, forcing them to watch their flanks mostly. So if they will go bottom, we will see a nomad being picked, and then claymores. The fact we're having 2 claymores right now, you can cover off so many of those flanks. But
Yeah,
top floor, the problem with top floor though is the amount of windows there are per foe.
true. It is very true. Windows, especially OSHA not being out of the game, it's going to make it a bit
Yeah.
more difficult, if you know what I'm trying to say. And also, I mean, Vega last match, they were a bit more bunkered up. They had no roam presence. They were holding upstairs, but that's a hold. That's like the extended site. But it wasn't really any roam presence. They didn't waste time. They could have had like another player just waste some time in kitchen or something, and it could have even changed a lot. And that could have came even someone downstairs to deny the Finca flanking blue stairs. Anything like that could have just changed the outcome. So going downstairs and then putting that into the strategy, it seems like the right thing to do for now. Now, yet again, do not forget that attacking does have a bit of a six pack right now, as they just got buffed,
Yep.
and it's still counterable. So if they go pause, that can be countered with an IQ. Mirror, they can go Twitch, anything like that, really. So yeah, with attackers being a bit more buffed, it should not seem a very hard thing for qvG to adapt themselves to what the Vega side is doing.
It all depends on how quickly they can drive out the opposition, how quickly they recognize onto the site, and more importantly that their IGL adapts to the play of that Vega do, because it's all down to the ops you pick, how each person counteracts each person. So on the side of defense, you want to pick more of a, I wouldn't say default strat, but go for more obscure strats that
Yeah.
maybe the attackers won't know how to basically you're trying to confuse the attackers. Siege is now coming away from a tactical game to a mental game. It's about the mental, it's about hitting your shots. And with the attacker repick, it allows that in more in-depth strategy, but then it allows for also more in-depth counter strategy. It's all about strategy, counter strats. This is the mind game that goes through the mindset that players have to have, and it puts a lot more pressure on how the teams play.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to that things, you could also say it's like each team has to get this type of gap. They have to get the gap in the other team where they can just enter in and execute off of it. That's kind of how comp can be also played. If you, there's many ways you can describe competitive. Like, don't get me wrong. There's how you mentioned it, the gap thingy. Just playing it like ranked. But yeah, we should be now. We should be ready to actually go back in, and yeah, let's just start the match and go actually into round two, I believe, which is going to be interesting since yet again we made predictions, and I want to see Pyro who will be the one with the right one on challenge. Will they go upstairs or downstairs? Go and monkey
I
nursing.
believe upstairs. I believe upstairs, but I will admit myself wrong if they do bottom floor. We haven't talked about if they go back to the same site though. So if that happens, and it's always a possibility. I mean, they had such a strong defensive strat for top floor that I was almost certain that Vega would have won the top floor. Yes, where the bans, it seems we don't have the bans in place at the moment,
Oh,
which was
yeah,
yeah. Ugh.
Pyro. They, you know,
Uh,
we gave them an option. We gave them three options. It was A, upstairs, B, downstairs, and no,
they've got
we'll
to
save
ditch
this.
timing.
We'll like
The
they
one we didn't
picked.
say.
We gave them three options and they picked D. But yeah, it
It's a
doesn't
multiple
seem
choice
like
exam. When your brain
yeah,
tells you one thing and your heart tells you another, you ignore them
just
both and go to the one that you don't think of.
they they absolutely baited both of us. I guess we both lost.
I mean,
uh,
we'll have to do a little dare, a little forfeit for getting them both wrong. Maybe we don't
again.
know what we're doing. I mean, we don't know what's happening inside the minds of these teams here.
Attackers
I
need
mean,
to
it's only
locate.
play day 3, and the amount of new strats we're seeing, the amount of picks we're seeing that are different to what we would see in tier 3, tier 2, tier 1 play, it's very shocking.
You know,
And
you
it's
gotta love
I
it.
like it. I like
we
it,
had
but
we had to rehost to back to back just not even because of the players, and then the players baited us casters into going option D. So it's a bit of an interesting start how it started. Not generic maps, that's always great, but then also non-generic things happening. It's going to be an interesting day, it seems like, or an interesting BO2. But yeah.
got another map,
uh
haven't we? And that was also a surprise. I mean, border. I want to see what strats come out there. I think the point for border, when we go to border, I don't think we predict strats because they're going to go completely different to what we think as casters. It's going to
oh,
be one of those games, isn't it, Puffer?
most definitely. I mean, we're gonna be expecting head holes. They're just gonna open up the whole wall. They will not. They will do just completely something else to surprise us at the end. I'm hoping that happens. But yeah, right now going still through a bit of a rehost yet again, sadly.
Back
But
to our producer.
yeah,
No offense, no offense.
we're just joking. Don't cancel us,
Don't
please.
cancel us. I bet everyone's having a laugh in chat though. But chat, this is the most important question. This is a question to chat. What score prediction are you taking for this first map? I mean, it's only one at the moment. We've seen how well both teams play. The strategy coming outside from the side of Vega, but the kill domination coming outside of qvG. So I want to hear, what are your map predictions? What is your
Let's
score
see it.
predictions here? Puffo, I actually want to ask you that question. That same question coming to you. I know as casters we're not supposed to have bias here, but I'm gonna try and
Pyro.
squeeze it out of you here.
Pyro, I'm not supposed to say this, but qvG Esports, you know, they have a player in their team who I used to play comp with, and
Ooh,
we are friends for about two to three, around 2 years. So if I don't say qvG, he's probably gonna find out where I live and absolutely execute me. So I'm just gonna go with
but
qvG.
I bet the fans of Vega here are gonna come to your house all the same though.
I,
So it's a
I'm in
it's a
such a
tough.
predicament right now.
I mean, we've heard what the staff say, and
True.
I mean, I mean,
I'll,
the
I'll
staff
I'll
and the
s-
community have speaking, but I always bet on the underdogs. I mean, every single stream you saw me on, I've always bet. But the team could
all
come
right.
back from this position. So I'm actually betting for Vega here.
Okay. You go with
My
Vega.
pride on the stake here, but Vega, do me well.
Yeah, you go for Vega, and so Breezy doesn't kill me, I'll go qvG. And then let's see.
I know. I mean, in the in-game points, I actually saw a point prediction of 30k votes from someone. 30k. That's a lot of channel points. I
Wow.
mean, 41k on qvG.
Man.
I actually voted in that vote, but I will tell you at the end of the game what I voted in. I'll leave
All
it for a
right.
surprise. But
All right, then. Also, we did get confirmation for both teams. We should be ready. I hope we got bans and set and everything correct. And we should be heading into
imagine, no,
the
no,
match.
imagine this time it's the round count that's different.
J-
Or
we-
C's just messing up, but we are going to go into the match now. And let's continue with that all important kitchen and dining site. So they have to go to the same site. We didn't see any picks. So there still are a lot of picks here.
Mhm.
There's Frost, Castle. I like Castle. Castle straight on top
Castle.
floor. That's what I'm going to see. There's a lot of windows for the side of qvG to push into here. There's you've got the double window onto master bedroom. You've got the double window. You've got the two singular windows into solarium windows. So there's a lot of places you could put Frost here. And I
Yep.
saw I think it was 4 Frost mats in one game last week. So there is a lot of
Ooh.
potential with Frost here. You've obviously got
Huh.
your defaults of Smoke, Jaeger, and Malusi as well, but Puffer, talk to me about the attacking side here.
I would talk to the attacking side, but I'm just gonna mention my favorite opinion. I love
Okay.
Frost and Capcan just because in the lower sides it does seem like you can focus a bit more on Capcan and Frost since it's not that intense. But in higher ranks, higher complex stuff like that, Frost and Capcan
Attackers need to locate and
absolutely
defuse as many bombs
um
as they
are
can.
absolutely a pain to deal with. Since you gotta focus on where you want to go, what's the strat, what you want to do, if there's someone in gunfight, like it's so much to focus
Bomb
that
located
just
by
a little
attackers.
bit is there like, oh wait, Frost, and the second you realize it, it's too late. So yeah,
Exactly.
going on to the attacking side, actually, we see the same loadout from qvG. We see Sledge, Yana, Nomad, and Finka for the absolute busting buff the Finka brings. It's kind of like a Thunderbird on attack.
I will take
could say.
this. We've had a little joke. We had a bit of Canadian on Canadian action here. If any of you are from the DAL, you would know that. But I mean, getting into this round, we do not see any attacker repicks here, so this could go any which way. I hope there is going to be a massive comeback here and a massive, beautiful game to watch out for. But they are going for the default strat of pushing into library here, Puffer.
So yeah, right now it's just a default. You gotta take upstairs. The same with bar side. You gotta take some verticality on attack, not let it be all on defense. So yeah, right now we see a very tough pull right now, especially from the Malusi on piano with a shield. It seems like already Spooky taking out some of his HP. No Thunderbird to back him up there, so he's gonna be on red HP for the rest of his match. Still maybe couldn't get a kill or two, of course. It's not impossible, but yeah. Sledge already going. They're fully taking out piano, and Malusi's already backing up, playing it extremely safe, and not as much as we thought actually. Yana going in, getting taken out instantly, but is Malusi going to be able to hold up? Taking a lot of intel. It's been a few drones, and she started getting detonated slowly, but gets out at the right moment.
A bit of a tough push there, but an easy kill down to Gaz onto Oxy D. And an instant trade out, a double kill coming on the side of Vega there. Putting it down to a 3 versus 4. That's another kill though on the side from Breezy onto Blix. Make that a 3v3. And a TK there. Oh no, Breezy. F2 onto Toby. I think he was just mad he's not using the F2 there. Boss Matt! Pogmat! Avok onto F2, but Breezy gets a kill onto Avok. It's a 1 versus 2 situation. The health pools are quite similar here, as Spooky from that earlier engagement has taken a lot of damage, but he is vacated back towards site. There's no vertical gone on here though, Breezy. It's very hard. I just said Breezy is the sledge player here. Breezy. He's gonna go for the grenade check here. Try and get rid of that Jaeger. No, the Jaeger rotates back off. It was close. That Jaeger was definitely close there.
We really hoped for it
and
to
we
happen.
thunk.
And yeah, talking about that, Sledge actually, or Breezy as we may call him, he's starting to slowly push up into kitchen side, trying to take any gunfight he can, but getting taken out by Spooky with a nasty headshot. That's going to be a first round for Vega. So they matched up the score and made it 1-1 and made a bit of a clap back, I guess you could say. So yeah, Jaeger with not as much HP, but still a big challenge to be not messed with. And yeah, let's see actually where they're going to be going now. Let's keep that bet up, and they're going to be going upstairs.
Yes, I
Damn
won.
it.
I was gonna say about the previous round with Jaeger. Although he took a lot of damage, it all doesn't matter if you can hit your heads.
True.
Siege is a one-shot headshot, and Blix is just a headshot machine here. Chachanka though,
Mm,
Chachanka here, Puff. What
very
a
hard.
beast.
I'm
You're,
already
did you say very hard? Are you hard?
no very no. I said very hard. Hold up, you got hold the phone. You got that one wrong. Let's
I'm
let's
gonna apologize
continue
right here.
to
No
round
one heard
3.
my head.
Nothing was heard. Shush.
Shh.
But yeah. Tachanka's extremely useful if you think about it. I mean, smoke on
Yeah.
elbow is just a bit more useful because you can pull out. We're talking about elbow, just how different they are, because you can pull out the smokes a lot quicker. You can detonate them quicker. With the Tachanka, you gotta pull out a specific gun. You gotta shoot them. It takes some time, but the time waste is completely different. On the other hand, it's 14. How much does each one of those grenades waste? 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, and you have to remember that unlike smoke, you can Kobe these Shakura grenades off walls.
True, very
You
true.
can bounce them. You can get into positions which smoke players would have to peek out. And obviously, when you peek out in Siege, you're at a very high risk, especially when you don't have a gun and you have that smoke canister out. You're very likely to get picked. With Chachanka, it just removes that error, that very vital risk out of throwing those grenades, those
Yeah.
beautiful amounts of fire to
mean,
positions that are difficult.
I feel like Tachanka also has his gun is a mix of the SMG-11 and the shotgun. It's kind of a slower, it's a bit of a faster shotgun that does lower damage. So I feel like it's a bit of a mix. Again, you don't need a lot. You don't need 2 guns to actually take gunfights, so you can make rotations and take gunfights with the LMG. But Avak right here did get taken out by the Yana player. It seems like Kitchen
Trade.
still being held pretty heavily.
Talking about that trade though. That's the Yarnicon. That is a lot of intel gone. Jobo gets a kill onto Blix. F2 onto Spooky. It's a 4 versus 2 almost immediately. Oxy D gets a kill onto Jobo. That is the refrag coming out now. And F2 and the team of qvG have piano door control. Actually, they have piano. Let me talk about that. The Chachanka goes down, not using any of his Shimura gadgets here, and it's also down to a 1 versus 3. Oxy D, I have seen him clutch in worse conditions, but does he know the Nomad's on the flank here? He does! He just misses the head here. Oxy D's on half health, and he's just being able to see there. Salem gets the kill onto Oxy D, just being able to be seen from that rotate there. Just you see his head just pop out of the reinforced wall there. Slightly unlucky. Slightly unlucky on the side of qvG, on the side of Vega there, actually. I was about to say qvG, but qvG are 2-1 up here.
Yeah, I was gonna. It's a bit unfortunate how Mozzie's default skin actually gave him away with the little antenna he has on his motor helmet, but
Motor
yeah,
like you.
don't pick that up. But yeah, going out to round 4, we're going back into Barn Gaming, and same loadouts, both teams. Nothing has changed. We even have the same loadout on defense with a Thorn and Wamai being in play, and a Mira. Mira is still holding strong ground, but let's hope the players can keep a bit more awareness when it comes to flanking, especially if a Wild Finka is on the loose in basement. And if it does come to late round, she can be a very hard hassle to deal with at the end, especially with last round on bar. Verticality was instantly taken as she even pre-fired the Mira in library upstairs, so it was not what you really want to see. It's not what you want to expect, and not the way you want to go out.
say instantly taken. I mean, there was like a minute left into the round, but as you said, the kill onto the mirror and then the pre-fire onto the close right of that box door there. I was actually going to ask you a question. Will we see the same mirror strat? But I think that answer will be already taken up here, as they are reinforcing the same walls. Puffer, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to be a bit of a switch of player positions and timings in it. I think it's just going to be a bit more awareness on flanking blue, especially with Thorn, because last time I didn't think Thorn wasn't in such a huge gunfight. She had the sledge on the window, and he was just nading mostly, but she couldn't even take that gunfight, so, I mean, being aware of what's behind you, it seems like that would be a bit more, you could use a bit more attention right there on that spot, especially because of how it ended. But yeah, let's hope OxyD does manage to take it, and we do see a disconnect from the player. Really, that's going to be a 4v5 instantly, not even half a minute into the round. And they're already pushing into Garage. We see an Ace and a Nomad both working together to take it out as fast as possible. And using the hard breaches, F2 does take a lot of damage and returns that HP to the Jaeger. The Jaeger's really stuck right now, and he cannot do much but take a gunfight or run for it. What will he do? He will get taken out by F2, and that's going to be a matchup of man advantage. It was going to be back to a 4v4. So, you know, they wanted to retrieve that loss.
That was so close. How close was OxyD there to getting that Nomad? It was just inches away. If he would have peeked out a little bit more, that would have been a free kill. And that would have led up to a 3 versus 4. F2 taking a lot of damage here from verticality play here. I was going to say, this is Spooky's second time in a row being the first pick here. Oh, what a grenade going for Joby onto Avok, and Salim gets a kill onto OxyD. So it's all up to Blix and Sinji on the site here for Vega. And most importantly, qvG have not lost a player this round, so this would be a flawless. Apart from that DC here. Perfect.
I mean, it still seems like a flawless if they keep all the players, technically. They even managed to make it from a 4v5 to a 4v2 situation, and talking about it, it's a 4v3 by Blinks right now. Playing it very vertical and safe, he seems like he'll be a big threat, and also Nomad taking out Shinji right there, and Blix yet again taking out Salim, and that's going to be back to a 2v1, so he still has a pretty big chance to make a bit of a comeback, as right now Finka and Gazo are playing extremely safely on that verticality he has all over his control, but not even knowing he's just playing it a bit more on the stairs side. And you know, there's gonna be a gunfight in a second, taking out the Yana on first floor. The Finka goes into a gunfight, but actually takes out the Wamai, and that's gonna be another win for qvG. You know, making it from 4v5 on the way to a 2v1. It was not too bad. They still managed to retrieve their loss they had at the start of the round.
Rich. Dobry with that beautiful Finka kill there. Almost a throw on the side of qvG. I mean, Blitz with that 3k, and two of them were from that long angle from Closet Hatch. I mean, he was crouched, he lined up his gun there, and he just managed to get the players on towards that bottom stairs. But do you know what was even better than that, Puffo? That grenade. That grenade from the sledge. 2 floors he went through, from the main up to the top main, and perfectly timed, may I add.
Call it a Kobe, you can. That was an absolute throw from that sledge, a dunker in basketball as well. And we have Breezy back in the game, so it should be a 5v5. But qvG is still proving to outmatch Vega on attack. So maybe Vega's not comfortable on defense. Maybe they're just not feeling it today and wanna be a bit more aggressive on attack. And we're gonna have to see that in about 2 rounds when the role switch does happen. But up until then, qvG does seem to have a pretty favorable position right now. Still, even without Breezy, the sledge of the team, that nade absolutely flew up and blew up everyone's mind at the end of the day. And we're going back to kitchen. We have not seen downstairs, have we?
Yeah, no, we haven't seen downstairs. But more importantly, Kitchen Dining was the only round that Vega Esports have won.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they won the bottom floor with the last kill come from Spooky, who, as we remember, had that very early pick. So if you're in the mind of Vega Esports here, do you just say to Spooky, don't risk those early gunfights?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem to be holding them tight very, very much, and he does seem to get taken out, but hey, maybe we'll be seeing otherwise, because you know what's interesting? since whenever I started casting and you mention or criticize anything, the player will somehow manage to act like he heard you and absolutely disprove your whole point. Yesterday we had a player, he didn't frag out. As the casters, we mentioned it. He goes 5-0 in the next two rounds. It's weird. It's weird. It really is.
I thought you were going to say a 5-0 and going round there, a little bit of an AC action here. It's the caster's curse, but it's almost the opposite, isn't it? It's almost a reverse caster's curse. Normally when casters say something, it goes even worse for you. But maybe, I mean, from the last game that you casted, we saw that it could go well for them.
I'm
So
a blessing.
you are a blessing. You're a blessing, and I'm the devil, it seems. Whenever I say anything, it just normally doesn't go well. There's going to be... are we seeing a rush here from Finka? I mean, we're doing a double-sided play here. He's just going to watch for any rotates as we see the entirety of qvG. The 4 players from qvG here taking mezzanine control, pushing into towards the piano. And we saw qvG, Vega Esports actually taking a lot, fall off this quite quickly though. Blix getting a kill onto Gazo. That's already a man down. That's already Yana down. The second time qvG has lost their Yana in a round here first. That's so much utility. You've got a good gun, you've got the 2 grenades, you've got the intel, and more importantly, you have got that Gon 6 puff.
True, very true. I can completely agree with you, but at least Spooky wasn't the first one out of the game. Maybe we'll see OxyD being... I mean, he's right now in a very, very stressful and horrible situation as he's going to get pushed from the Finka and Piano, even maybe some nades going into action. He's going to be on a very bad side, and Spooky actually winning the gunfight on Dobridge right there. That's going to be the Finka out of the game. What a shot from him. And Beaks, or Blix, how should we call him? Beaks, Blix?
Blix.
Blix, it sounds cool. Blix right now still in master bedroom, holding his ground very steadily. Salim right now just taking his time, you know. The problem is holding angles on attack can sometimes prove worth, but you're the one attacking. You're the one who has to push, you know. So that doesn't seem to work out. And right now, Ace is gonna go for main breach as we want to see it. And you know, cutting off rotations like that is extremely useful. Spooky right now, it seems like he's going for a bit of a flank, and Blix are taking out Salim. That's going to be the nomad of the team in a 2v5 situation. The Ace and the Sludge are in a very bad spot.
I mean, they have got vertical here on the side of Biggs. You have got this player pushing up library stairs here, and you've got one towards where main breach here. They have to play together on the side of qvG. They've opened this wall here, so they might be able to get the kill onto Bix here. But you've still got this player playing in piano. F2 just get the kill onto Bix, and he knows where the other player is on piano, but he doesn't get the kill. Avok gets the kill onto F2. It's all down to this 1v4 situation. All of the players from Vega Esports on very high health. Spooky gets the kill onto Breezy. A 2k from Spooky that round. Not getting killed first, and look what happens.
I love how it
The
sounds
opposite
like
of the caster curse.
Sounds like we're picking on the guy.
And look what he says. He hears us from the gods. He hears us picking on him. And what did he do? Stamp us into the ground.
Exactly. Disproved our point, and you know, ended up with actually 2K'ing and even maybe clutching up the round, it seems like. And we're gonna be going into the last round before roll swap. And right now, if qvG does secure this, they should be in a pretty good spot. As defense, I don't know how well each side is favored.
It's definitely mix and match on this one. It's definitely depending on the teams. Normally, you would have a pretty clear side for each side. But Chalet, I found, it depends on the team's playstyle. Are you an attacker-sided team? Are you a defender-sided team? Are you aggressive? Are you passive? It all depends on these situations. And what I've seen is qvG is a very passive team. They like to take their time. And last round, it definitely hurt them. But the round before that, it paid off dividends. It paid off massively for them. But the site here, Puffer, I mean, they've gone top floor, haven't they? A very, very solid side. And a site that I think Vega actually lost. Yeah, Vega won both their sites on the same site, which is that pitching living room site. So this could go qvG's favor. You would all think it could go qvG's favor, but from the way that Vega played last round, it could go their any way.
Yeah, it really could. I mean, we have been seeing, I believe, the same loadout, but from qvG, but we're going to be seeing a bit of a switch on Breezy's side. He's going to be deciding to go Buck instead of Sledge, which is always a good option when the opposite team is upstairs. Of course, with Buck you can go into kitchen and you can play vertical from there on, and it's extremely useful since Sledge can bring grenades. But yet again, you can't forget that if F2, the ace of the team, does die, you still have hard breaches on Buck. So with that being in mind, Buck can still be a very good secondary or replacement for a hard breacher. While it may not seem like it, it certainly does pay out at the end of the day. And playing a bit more vertical into trophy, it seems like Breezy's going to be playing it extremely safe, like you
It's a
mentioned.
strat I've seen before. It's a strat I've seen before on Talent League, and as he said, Buck, it's a very strong operator, obviously because of that hard breach gadgets. But not only that, the entirety of the top floor site, I mean all positions mostly, are destructible, are soft destructible. So Buck is a very smart idea here from the side of qvG. I mean, it's 2 minutes into the round here. We see what push they go for. I was about to say there's been no kills, but Oxy D getting the first kill onto Breezy. That is the Buck gone. So that is all of their soft destruction diminished, absolutely demolished. And gone. We have to see qvG react onto this player here. We can't give Vega for Esports a free kill. Make that 2 free kills. Nearly 3 there for Oxy D. What? I mean, there's only one player, the side of Salim here, who is in trophy, and he is going to peek Oxy D. Oxy D's on fire. You should not peek him here. You know where he is. He sees the head. He's whiffing his shots here. I don't... Oh.
That was 2 times of a whiff, and it's not going to end too good for them as Oxydy is going on an absolute rampage, shutting down, picking his 3rd kill. That's going to be on Dalbridge. He's on an absolute killing spree right now. We can even see an ace from him. It's still possible if he gets his pick off. Almost taking out the Nomad, but not quite. He's going to be in a very tough situation. Salim does take him out, but that's going to be a quad kill for Oxy D. He's on an absolute kill. Will this ace allow him to get the ace? And he does not. He gets shut down at the quad kill. It's going to be 4 kills for him, but no more as F2 will not allow anything like that to go through. Oxy D was on an absolute rampage. They had grenades. They had a lot of utility, but they decided not to use it and just Salim still whiffing a bit of his shots on that head about 2 to 3 times. It was not what you really want right there. You want to hit those shots and make sure he cannot secure him. Ace pushing in the right time, but Spooky not allowing it as he absolutely baits him. And that's going to be the SMG 11 kill from the man himself.
Oxy. What are you doing? That was a beautiful 4K. I was literally saying in the cast, do not peek Oxy D here. You're gonna die. And what happened? He gets a 4K that round. I really did want him to get the A step buffer. It was so close.
Oh my!
I was like, he's not gonna do this, is he? He's not gonna hit these shots. And when the Nomad, with that many shots there, when Dobry just whiffs there, it almost looks down. The gods are not shining on you at that point, qvG, and that evens up the score point here. We're on 3-3 going into the second half of this game. And the first round, as always, is Master Officer, slightly different from qvG on Vega here. Will we see a bottom floor here, Puffer?
I don't think so. I think both of them. I think both of the teams are just now going against me, trying not to go with a second or the bottom floor. I hope I'll see it. I hope we'll see it. We do see a bit of a bandit play though. Bandit tricking is valid, it seems like, but not when you're on 3rd floor or 2nd floor, or when there's at least a floor below you. From what it seems like I mentioned a lot of times previously, with the nade meta, any type of bandit tricking will be instantly cancelled, even sometimes from above. But yeah, we're just gonna have to see that in play as the action phase is slowly coming to us. We need to. I want, if possible, I'm gonna try to ask whether. Yeah, forget English is hard. I want to ask Oxy D if he is overdosed on G Fuel by any chance. But yeah,
Drug test after this. We need it. We need a very hard screening after this.
call 911.
I mean, it's 4. He was on 1-4 going into that last round, and now he finds himself on 5-4 here, and on Finker, which is such an OP op. We did see an attacker repick here from the Twitch onto IQ. we have the Valkyrie and the Bandit here. So do you think that was a good idea? Before we go into that, Gazo gets a kill onto Sinji, and that's the Hibana gone. That is your important hard breach down. Gazo gets another kill onto Avok. That's the Iana down, and it's all looking down for the side of Vega here. Made that a Thinker gone. Bruni gets a kill onto Oxy D, but Gazo does not see the player playing in box here.
Yeah, Breezy actually being very close to dying right there, but still managing to take out the Finka with a HP boost. It seems like she was not able to get herself up in time, and he did finish her. Also, Gazo downstairs being an absolute menace in library bar side was absolutely destroying. It seems like getting a 2K, making it 5 versus 2 at the end right now. Vega not in the best spot as, Blix is right now just trying to get a bit of a pick from any side, going for a bit of a drone now. Spooky, on the other hand, just trying to see if he can take off the little pieces of Gazo and trying to take him out himself. Breezy just trying to take out Jones. You always love to see it. Utility getting destroyed, it's satisfying to do, and it's satisfying to see, at least for me. But yes, it's still a 5v2. It's looking extremely flawless right now. The match is pretty even, so these teams look like they are on an even, I guess you could say, basis.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot of back and forth. But, I mean, for the entirety of qvG here, most of them are on full health, other than that Breezing, and they've got all the power positions here. Vega Esports have just lost so many players and not gained any sort of map control, have they, Puffer? I mean, we've still got Doku here on Library Stairs, so they haven't even took this part of the map yet. They're still outside on K9. I don't know what they're going to do here for the side of Vega. I think at this point, they need to take this as a timeout here. Try and figure out what they're going to do next round, because this round, unless they get a 2K here, they can't really do anything, can they?
Yeah, I mean, Gazo getting the triple kill onto Blix, denying, and that's going to be a flawless round with a quad on Gazo's side. He's denying the denial of a flawless from Nomad, right? And get nasty one taps, it seems like, onto the Buck and the K9 players. It's going to be a flawless from qvG. Absolutely excellent from Gazo, taking out people and not being able to get refragged. It seems like he was just he was a menace. You could call him just a menace straightforward.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And that round, it was just completely out there. qvG deserved that round so much, and we do see the bottom floor coming out. I think we see what you wanted to see here, Puffer. And how they will play that bottom floor. How they will play that bottom floor with the Chachanka, the Bandit, the Jaeger Smoke, and Melusi.
I'm extremely happy. Going downstairs and even using one of my top 5 operators, which I absolutely love, Tachanky Kang, is going to be in the play with the time waste. Absolutely dominant. If he's kept alive up until like the last minute, he should be able to deny any type of plant or run in, at least for a bit. And even if a player does run through the fire and the flames, it will not work out, as he's going to shut down extremely quickly. So yeah, right now it's just a default side. It's reinforcing what you always want, and we're gonna be losing a caster for a bit. He's gonna be back, let's hope. And yeah, okay, so let's actually talk about the strats. It seems like Vega Esports right now going completely different, using the 6-pick on attack on up to the full potential. We see a Flores and a Hibana in play, of course. They're downstairs, but Flores get picked off instead of a Buck. They don't have much verticality. They don't have a Sledge, a Buck, an Ashe, a Zofia, so it's going to be a bit hard for verticality on their side. But of course, secondary gadgets from IQ should work good enough. And Gazo right now going for a bit of a cheeky spawn peek, trying to get another kill. It seems like he's being the hot hand of the team currently, with absolutely fragging out. And yeah, we do have a lot of hard breach, a lot of hard breach influence, but we don't see much soft breach, as if the IQ gets taken out, all they can use for it is floors and grenades.
Yeah, I mean, the flowers and grenades is quite a bit, but obviously with that IQ, you can definitely... I think the fact that they have no Valkyrie here, I don't think it's that much of an issue. They've only got the Bandit, and that's not enough to protect this sort of backside push here. Especially with Gazo here playing on West Main. There's a lot that can be done on the side of qvG here. Blix is droning that bottom floor, that middle floor here, trying to get pressure into Trophy.
Ooh. being extremely close right there to Spooky's head. He actually, Gazo, by mistake, actually almost took out Spooky right there. It was very close, but not close enough. It seems like it would have been also very beneficial, but at the end it didn't happen, and Spooky managing to pull off and destroy the bandit on the wall. That's going to be main wall on backside, pretty much left open for the breach, so Thermite can do his ways, and so can Hebana, and you see already Thermite Biflow is backing him up, ready to execute. Spooky still looking out, and Blix right now in a gunfight in against a Chanka out of all people upstairs, it seems like, or second floor, may I say. We're going to see who becomes the outcome of the winner. Almost taking out his HP, downing him, and that's going to be Dobrik getting taken out. There's going to be not much time waste as you'd expect it to, especially from the Tachanki Kang himself. Blix right now being extremely cautious as, you know, there could be flanks from any side if they don't have a Nomad on deck.
Yeah, especially with that Nomad gone, as we just saw.
Yeah.
Well, the Nomad's not even here, but Nomad's without that Nomad, it's going to be a lot harder to watch the flanks, isn't it?
Yeah, watching flanks on your own, especially alone, is going to be extremely difficult. You're also taking some team damage, and F2 right now going to challenge himself with the SMG-11. It's going to be very tough with the hard breach open and a lot of utility denied. Spooky gets taken out by an absolute nasty shot, and refragged. Oxy D gets taken out. Actually, Oxy D himself takes out Salim with a grenade of, well, you could say the least. Right now, Finka pushing up with a bit of a distraction, taking some of Gaz's HP, but not knowing, taking out the Malusi push further. That's going to be the triple for him, and Avok finished F2 for the final player. It seems like that's going to be another round going to Vega, and it's back to back to back to back, back to back, all the way up until round 9.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the absolute vengeance that Vega had on the last sort of couple seconds left into that. I mean, it was beautiful, a beautiful round. We'll see where they'll go to next round, which is Bar Gaming. And we saw Bar Gaming was a very, very good site. Well, no, it wasn't a good site. Vega actually, when they were on defense, didn't win anything, wasn't it? It was Living Room Kitchen that Vega won both of the sides.
Yes, I can confirm. And you know what's interesting? We're actually going to be seeing a Vigil in play, so that's kind of interesting to see. I mean, IQ can still kind of counter him, but not constantly, as Vigil can, you know, just switch it off if he wants to do so himself. But yeah, right now we're going to be going on to another round, round 9. It's pretty much, we have only about three more rounds to go, so it's back to back to back, and it does seem like these teams are both evenly matched out. It's extremely close for both of them, and they're both playing. They both had very close rounds, and you know, it was some bad moments and some good, but at the end of the day, both of these teams are doing absolutely amazing from what it seems like.
Yeah, especially as it is. Oh, hello. Yeah, especially I mean, as it is very. I mean, it's 4-4 at the moment, isn't it? So it's a lot. It's gonna be close to see which teams prevail on top, which teams win out of these two. Because I'm not too sure yet. Puff. I mean, what are your predictions for this
I
cast?
mean, for this cast, it's been I can't make much predictions. As yet again, if I say anything, we're gonna have or the fans of this team or Breezy himself come after my head. So
As you
let's
said
just-
before,
yeah, I don't wanna get into threats. But yeah, right now we're gonna be going into. It's gonna be a bit of an aqua take. So Jaeger right now challenging, being extremely careful. Gazo taking out Oxy D. That's gonna be the hot hand there. It's Finka being taken out. That's going to be the healer of the attacking side. Thorn, actually not Thorn, the Gridlock trying her best to take out, being close to wallbanging the Jaeger. And Dobrich with that second kill onto Team Vega. That's going to be Shinji taken out. And Spooky with a double kill onto Gazo and Dobrich. He's going to be all back. He's going to be resupplying their team. Spooky extremely low, but did manage to refrag both his teammates. That was extremely fast-paced.
Fast-paced, wasn't it? I mean, he's got one HP, Spooky. Literally, I know a lot of teams say, "Oh, he's 1 HP" when they mean he's 20 HP, but he's definitely on 1 HP. That Wow, we go into a 3 versus 3. Nothing's really happened there. 1 minute 15 left. They've still got this shield on top library. They've still got this on the jungle here. And both of the players are playing on bottom floor onto that site. So 1 minute 5 seconds left. I don't know how Vega Esports are going to push this here. They're going to try use these flyers, RCD drones here. The Rotero drones to clear. RCXD, I'm coming back to the cold old days, aren't I? I'll take using these RXD. Why am I saying it
Just
so
call it a
wrong?
boom boom drone.
Boom
Just
boom
call it a
drone.
boom
A
drone.
boom boom drone. Just use those boom boom drones to get rid of that shield, which they have done, and try and force this player out of library, especially when he's that low on health. It's gonna be he's gonna have to use his utility a lot more.
I mean, verticality is in play, but we do see someone playing on the bottom blue side. Jaeger being close to taking some damage, or Bandit, not Jaeger. And we see the Bandit taken down very quickly. Also, the feet of Smoke are popping up. They're getting flashed all over the place. And still, yet again, we do see a bit more of a, I guess, flanky type gameplay. And actually talking about the flank, Breezy goes on to third floor, gets taken out by Avok from window, and the plant goes down. Spooky right now on extremely low HP. He's gonna have to challenge anything. Takes him out. That's gonna be 2v1 with the gridlock outside of library window. It's gonna be extremely close. The track's taken out, one of the players, and gridlock playing extremely safe. qvG F2 will have to take on the challenge with a shotgun in hand. He will get denied by Avok, and that's another round going to Vega. So
I'm pretty sure that was a 4K from Avok, you know?
It probably was. I mean, he even denied Breezy on the third floor of the flank.
He got the tracks kills, and he got last kill. I saw a triple kill pop up, so that was a beautiful 4K from Avok. Spooky getting a 2K for the side of qvG. So that round could have gone any way. Spooky did take a lot of damage after getting that 2K, but was traded off very early. And the fact that Plant went down, it came to the last 2-3 seconds left in that round. Plank got down. They managed to jump out, set up post-plant positions, and with the health that qvG was on, yeah. definitely Vega sided there.
Yeah, I mean, we can respect Spooky at least then for coming up with that strength and managing to take out two players at most of the same time. But yeah, Spooky right there, he did pretty much win the game. If it wasn't for Spooky, they would have been an extremely dangerous situation, maybe even a loss for them from qvG, as Breezy would have been extremely dangerous, especially on that plant situation. It wasn't Spooky at the end there who did manage to fix him up. It was Avok, but yeah, Avok still managed to get a quad kill. Actually, it wasn't. It was a triple kill, I think, since Smoke, Tracks, and then Breeze. I think that was all of them.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
the other two, Spooky.
I'm saying that going into this round though, top floor site definitely a favourite on the side of qvG. They won their first round that they did play on top floor, and now they're going back to it. I want to see how they will set up this site. They've got the smoke, they've got the shotguns here. They're going to play their prone holes, but Vega Esports are going to go for a Solarium trophy push here. Do they bring the book again? No, they haven't brought the book this time, which was definitely he got picked off very early last time they were played on top floor, but was very useful if he did. Oh, Salim bits down there from the pre-fires into the window, and I think they do know John. Yes, there was a yellow ping there, as we saw, and OxyD does get that kill onto Salim, and that's the Bandit gone.
Yeah,
Good start on the side of Vega. Sorry.
No, my bad. I cut you off. Yeah, but Breezy wanted to hop in for a bit of an HP revive, but was not managing. And Gazel almost taking out Spooky. Spooky, yet again, on low HP. It's Spooky, and he's absolutely fragging out, but now without any consequences at the end of the day. Of course, right there, Breezy wanted to help out his fellow comrade in hands, but was not quick enough and took some damage. Of course, there's a Thunderbird there to assist him, and right now it's a 3v5 with Spooky not being on the best HP, getting some back by the Finca, and it doesn't seem to be looking too good for qvG. They haven't wasted a lot of time nor a lot of players on Vega's side. Right now, Avok pushing up, trying to get a bit of a nasty pre-fire, it seems like. not working out as Malusi's getting pinged all over again. Someone pushing up a bit more, and
Trade.
Dobber's getting a pick, but getting actually trading with Spooky. Or correct, I thought it was just a refrag. Tal Blue getting spotted at the last second, but backing up Breezy right now without any eyes, and F2 getting mated. It's coming down in a lot of rust right now.
You have got the smokes, like you got to say here. But 1 minute 20 left on the round, and still got 2 smokes there. He used one onto Solarium. Vega Esports has got one on Solarium stairs and one on Solarium window. This could be a very, very difficult hold here for F2. He's got to prevent the player from Solarium. You do see the head there, Solarium, but he doesn't react. It's coming very close here. Whatever the Habana or the smoke could die here. F2's on very low health. It all seems to be going downhill for the side of Vega, for the side of qvG, as Vega has rotated around and are now doing a split push here, realizing there's only 2 players on site. That Vega could just collapse here, taking a 2 versus 1 on each side, as qvG have to watch both sides of the map. OxyD gets the final kill onto qvG, and a 1-tap from Blix onto Breezy. Through the hole. Through the head height holes from Piano. Oh, what a kill watching it on that replay. Just that little flick tap. And a beautiful, beautiful round there from Vega. And that puts Vega Esports onto match point. The underdogs. The staff underdogs. I would call them an underdogs because it was an 87% chance from the staff votes that qvG were won. And the community votes on the stream. So Vega are absolutely crushing the opposition. I think, as you said before, attacking was definitely their favour. You said maybe they're just bad on defense and are better on attack, and
But
what
maybe
we
they
see
don't
here.
feel it. You know, they're not defense type players.
Yeah.
But most definitely, right now, qvG is gonna be playing these 2 rounds for all or nothing on this map. It seems like, and with an alibi coming into play, you know, I've been seeing a lot of people bring a warden for the shield, not an alibi, not even an Echo, I think he has it, or a Tachanka, but it's always the Warden, which does confuse me since the opposing team, I would get it if they were bringing Glass, being Blitz.
I've seen a lot of
nothing
things
like that.
recently, in previous
Yeah.
playdays at least.
But whenever someone brings a Warden, it doesn't seem to be because Aying was brought. It's just because he has a mustache. I think everyone's just based against mustache people. But also for whoever watching the 4v5 glitch on the screen, that's just a bug, nothing new. So yeah, let's continue on with the prep phase, which is 6 seconds remaining. Drones are getting taken out very quickly, running for their lives, but the shotgun will not allow it, as Breezy is absolutely merciless on them, but not spotting the one in sight. So yeah, I'm going to be going upstairs. It seems like a pretty similar a pretty similar hold from both sides, but without a frost.
Especially if they open that hatch, yeah, as we've seen there. Can we talk about the drone economy here? They have 4 in on the map and 4 outside. So 2 drones were taken out in prep phase, as you said, with that shotgun. And Spooky just managing to get that RCD drone off. But yeah, 5 versus 5. The first minute of the round is normally about setting up, getting rid of the shields that they have placed on that dining room here. First kill comes out from Dovry onto Avok. The Iana gone, as we have seemed to see players playing Iana. That is 3 times in a row that Iana has gone down first. As we said before, a lot of utility gone there. 4 or 5 versus 4 minutes. 4 versus 3. Topa with the double kill. And that's your sledge gone. That's any sort of verticality, especially on this site here. Puffo is massive, massive frag there.
Massive influence, especially on how Vega will right now play it out. I mean, qvG is still playing for all or nothing. It seems like they're bringing out the absolute switch on there. And absolutely switching up their gameplay, you know, switching up their strategy. So might as well bring out the big boys. And right now they're sweating. I mean, of course you gotta sweat in comp, but if they lose 1 match in these next 2, they are out. They are out for Chalet's side. They only have 1 more chance to redeem themselves. And of course, with this Legend Yana, with all nades getting taken out, OxyD does actually strike and Azo's out. Right now, Piano being heavily held, and that's going to be another kill onto Dobrich, the hot hand of the round. He's going to be back to a 3v3, and no man advantage seems to be on any sides. Alibi clones being taken out slowly. A lot of utility has been gone, thanks to Spooky, of course, and players are still holding heavily, and there's someone playing a bit more bathroom side.
How close they are.
they are both looking at each other pretty much. They're just waiting. And Drone is on F2 right now, gets taken out, but OxyD starts to push up slowly, trying to take him out. And Breezy with a shotgun onto Spooky. That's going to be a 3v2. OxyD barely missing F2. That's going to be extremely unfortunate.
I mean, it was all in qvG's favour there, but Vega have managed to do an absolute switcheroo here. It's a 3 versus 2. OxyD with one finger boost left, and he needs to take it here before getting killed. Both of the side of Vega here are very low health. They've got no sort of pressure here. 20 seconds left in the round, and it's all to fight for here. 50 seconds. As we remember, Vega Esports, if they lose this round, they lose game 1 and can only get 1 point out of this matchup. Breezy here is popping off his smoke canisters. Make that a 3 versus 1. OxyD takes the full hit, and he just has to drop hatch. And Breezy comes out with the victory there, winning the easy gunfight. And that is Vega Esports. After being... No, wait, no, that's qvG, wasn't it?
It was qvG.
It was
winning the
qvG.
round.
I am very wrong at this point. Let's all laugh at Pyro.
Happens to everyone. But
It's
one
2v2.
more round, and they're back in time. They're gonna be back. You know,
Tactical pause.
exactly. Of course, you gotta take it. Vega Esports right now. If they win this, they don't need to go through the trouble. They don't need to go through the trouble and to go in overtime. So right now they're playing for a lot. They're playing for a big point to be set. And of course, if qvG doesn't manage to, put up with it, they can win this and go into overtime, giving them another try, another chance to redeem themselves and even win Chalet. Vega has been, bringing it back a bit, but now qvG is going to be taking that role and going for a bit of a comeback on back-to-back rounds.
I mean, we're so close to seeing the second map here. That, if it's anything like this map, what a game we would have casted. I know they will. I mean, once we go to that second map, if it's anything like this first map, it's gonna be an absolute belter. Back and forth gameplay. I thought that was almost it last round, but as we can see, a
Not
little
quite.
mind blown. Not quite left. 6-5 though. All to play for. If you are qvG here, Puffo, if you are the coach of qvG, what are you saying to your team here? 6-5 down.
I'll be quite straight up with you. I'd be a horrible coach. I'd be saying, kill people,
Headshots. Win your gunfight.
headshots, shoot, gun. So, yeah. Right now, we're gonna be slowing it down a bit. But yeah, let's go in. Okay. So yeah, right now going into match point, it seems like it, but not quite. If qvG still manages to send their point, it's
Yep.
yeah. Right now, switching up to a mirror team like and
That's just a visual glitch. They can't actually switch on the defensive side.
Oh, yeah,
I think that's just a late visual.
I thought 6-pick was for defenders as well.
Even then, 2 people attacker repick. Imagine that defender repick. Siege. I know that would be very hard. Wait. I just saw that Avok on the Nook. I didn't. If people notice Avok on that Nook. Nook is, especially on these sort of long maps, these bigger maps with more potential to flank. Nook can be a right changer of the round. I was gonna say something else, but then I peeled back there after saying something that we should have clipped earlier into the round. But 2 minutes 30 seconds left into the round. Avok here has someone to contest with. We see the alibi here. He's going to go for the drone hole, but he doesn't realize that the drone is coming in here. He has got the better weapon here, in my opinion. It's the gun of the alibi here versus the FM9.
Not the
Would be
best thing you
interesting.
want to go up against. I mean, the stats are completely off record. Alibi would win in this gunfight without a doubt, but of course Nook can be kept alive as she is a very sneaky operator and can pull up with an amazing flank at the end, like Finka did in the first round on qvG's side. They maybe are trying to do the same thing for Avok right here, as he's trying to succeed as his own at his own expectations. And Gazo actually with the first pick onto Blix, or Bix as we call him. Avok is going into gunfight, slowly almost taking out some.
How close was that?
That was an intro pixel, you may say, away. getting a nice shot in chat. Amok right now being extremely close to a gunfight. And yet again, he almost got wallbanged himself a few times. Right now, second floor being taken out pretty fastly and steady with a bit less than a minute and a half on the clock. It's gonna start going down pretty steadily. It seems like Breezy's still holding his ground, and Trophy still contested by Nook. It's gonna be very hard for the defenders to come to actually for the attackers to come back from this. And speaking of the attacking side, Spooky from there does take out Dobridge, and that's gonna be the alibi. And Nook right now being in a bit of a better position. I guess it's gonna be a bit easier for her with one more in kitchen dining side, I do believe. So Breezy starts backing down as he doesn't feel safe. You know, there's nades, there's utility, and he does not want to challenge it with 0 Wamais on his hand currently. Gazo taking that position. They're going to be switching it up a bit, and it's going to be... I'm just going to say it is going to go down.
To the wire here. I mean, Breezy was in a power position, but it's a very good position there. Xingji gets a kill onto F2, mate. That 3 versus 4. qvG have not got many players here, have not got a lot of time here. There is still power positions on the side of qvG, but Vega Esports have that all-important man advantage. He just misses the player walking into closet there. 2 versus 3, 1 versus 3. qvG look to be out and done here. It's all up to Gazo with that Jaeger. Plant's going down for Spooky. They're all dropping hatch here. No one playing on top floor. Gazo's going to rotate here. 7 seconds left. Plant is down. Now it is in post-plant situation here. All of the players on the side of Vega Esports are below. Gazo gets a beautiful kill onto Oxy D, and there's just too many positions for him to watch. Too many angles that Vega Esports can be in. And Avon gets the kill onto Gazo through the wall with the headshot, and that is Vega Esports with the win there. 7-5.
Very nicely played from both of these teams, but Vega does manage to come out the winner with a 7-5 score. That was extremely well played, especially from the Nook. She took her time, and Spooky helped her out, and with the power of friendship and teamwork, it managed to be on the winning side of Vega. Now let's see if qvG can actually manage to pull out on the second map. If they can, let's hope we can see another type of great, excellent play style like we did right now. So we should be heading into a break, as I do believe so.
Especially on that newer map, on border, one we haven't
Yeah.
seen. When we haven't seen that many strats on, this sort of end-to-end gameplay that we are seeing, these rounds are going on to the last 10, 15 seconds. And it could go anyway there. It could go anyway. And Vega Esports have gone to 7-5. So we will go into that 5-minute break, as we said, Puffo. So I hope to catch you all later and be back with the next game into the
Bye-bye.
testing.
And we're back with the second match of today, which is going to be Border. Last match was Chalet. It was pretty interesting to watch. We've seen a lot of
Witty.
gameplay, a lot of goofy moments, and Chalet being a very interesting map to castate and watch. At the end, it did manage to be Vega Esports' side to win. So let's hope qvG does manage to pull their weight a bit more on Border.
Order. Gonna be a very, very good map there. But our teams are ready, so we can go straight into the match. But as we were saying, Border, first time played in Talent League, so I'm gonna get right close to the camera here. Be a beauty. I can't go any closer. My chest is like leaning over, but gonna be a beauty today. Let's get into the match.
Most definitely. I mean, we're going to be going into the ban phase now. Border, we have not been seeing a lot,
Predictions.
almost none at all. And bans are going to be, Border does have a lot of main breach, especially on upstairs. So I can kind of agree when it's going to be down to Caden Thatcher, and
Yep.
maybe even Floors Valkyrie, especially with those two being in the meta.
I would say rather than Valkyrie, maybe a mirror. That's gonna be my predictions. Never mind, it's just thrown out the window straight away. That is a Maverick here, Puffer. What are your thoughts on Maverick?
I'm gonna cry. I just got proved wrong yet again. And I mean, we can still see Thatcher. And, of course, maybe even Flores. Now, actually, none of those will be taken out, and it's gonna be Nook right there taken off the deck. So yeah, I mean
That's
Maverick
twice
and
wrong.
Nook.
You're gonna be wrong
Maverick
in every
and
single one. There's no point in them
Shush.
banning Cade now. I
Shush.
still do predict a mirror here. Never mind.
A
All right,
castle.
no one clip this, please. If we're all wrong on every single one, this will be a very, very disappointing and probably the end to my career as a color caster.
Oh god.
These are very weird bans, though. Maverick, I could probably agree with. No, actually, no chance. I don't know why Maverick was banned or Nook. Nook maybe for rotate smoke. Okay,
Understandable. I mean, Smoke is a very strong operator. Especially, I mean, you can replace him for Tachanka, like mentioned, but it's just,
and
you want to.
the Vulcan. The
I
Vulcan of
yeah,
Goyo. It lasts
true.
20 seconds now. Although you do have to shoot it if you put it on doors or windows, as soon as they break it, it goes off. And that's
That is
denial for
very true.
20 seconds.
It's a
I
very
don't
strong
like these
gadget.
bans. I don't know what these bans are, and I'm already confused about this game. Maybe because it is a one-time played map of Border. I'm still trying to comprehend these bans here. I don't know what to
Maybe.
say about them, Puffer.
It's a very unique, I guess, color type rainbow loadout as well. We see a Kaida a Jaeger, which is just default. I mean, the Tachanka is switched out for the smoke, and then we see a Capcan and a Vigil, which are extremely strong operators. So, I mean, keeping that in mind, if the attacking side does spot it, well, we're probably seeing a bit of a six pick onto IQ or Nomad, it seems like, for now. But yet again, we do not know. We're just gonna have to let time tell us. And of course, right now, loadouts are not the same as we see them. Last time it was Vega completely going, Yana, Nomad, Ace, Sledge, and Finka, I believe, every single round on attack, and even maybe switching it out for a buck every now and then. But it's completely on a different level right now. It's a Finka, Yana, Ace are being kept, but Twitch and Thatcher are now on the
I like
play.
and Thatcher. The Twitch and Thatcher combo, I would say have one other than the other, but the fact that we have so much utility being able to be brought, the Cade, the Mirror, the Bandits, the Jaegers, the Wamais, what we saw last round, there's so much that needs to be burned. So I agree, we are going to go for a run out here. Dobry, with that cap can, I'm going to say, he's going to wait for them to run out from this spawn here, but no one's going to come. It's going to take quite a while to spawn peek onto parking lot, and he is going to stay here. Will he get a kill, Puffer?
It doesn't seem so. Maybe if Oxy drops right here, he's going to be able to pick him off, but not like in the plans. Right now, Capskin is going to be left hanging right there as he does denied from. He got denied from his spawn peak. That's not the best thing you wanted. He's still hanging around there. He's still hoping to get maybe a kill or two. But yeah, Breezy and Capcan right on a bit of a flank. It seems like as they should be. Blix is actually trying to take out Armor Window. Now Tachanka right there to contest it. He's maybe going to go for a run out. Knowing where the Switch could be hiding, he's just going to go back and play safely on set as he should. You know, Vega just being a bit of a thorn in their side on. It's going to be a bit harder to take.
And then Mardo drones coming from right there. That was 3, I think. 2 of them taken down. A bit like the great British Armada. Yeah, but we do see some the Cade being brought out on officers. He's just going to prevent anyone from going on his flank here. All he needs to do is play out time. 1 minute 30 seconds left. They know where the Tachanka is. They know where he's peeking, and that's an easy kill there from Bix onto the Twitch and the player of F2 there. So the F2 not working out quite well there. He's going against him, isn't it?
Yeah, doesn't seem like the Tachanka got taken out, and again another kill from Oxy onto Gazo, but now by that's gonna be a bit of a refrag and a double kill on Dobr's side. V taking the play on platform on the main breach. Spooky's trying to challenge him, and a 3-on. Spooky does manage actually to take a little below 1 minute remaining, and right now it's still a 2v1, so HP not as favored much on Cade's side, but Spooky has all of it remaining as included, and head holes are into play. One gets taken out. That's going to be a kill for Spooky, and Dobra's trying to go for a bit of a flank. He flicks onto Spooky's head, and that is going to bit of a clutch, I guess you could say, right there onto the Capcan. What a shot.
I thought he saw the pop-up saying he is outside. The Capcan is outside. You know where he is. He comes off the plant, and what happens? His head gets removed from his little body, and that is a round for the side of qvG there. Vega, I mean, it was hard for Speaker there. He wasn't a 2v1. He took a little bit of damage from the opposition in that 2v1, but gets the headshot. And I think it's quite unlucky that Vega, that Spooky, lost that 2 versus 1 there.
Yeah, it was difficult. He almost came out as the winner, but not quite as we wanted him to. And I mean, Breezy did manage to pull out a good fight right there on the main breach, but of course Spooky did shut him down instantly. Same with a lot of refrags going on, and you know, all that type of stuff going down in a matter of seconds, as it seems as the execute at the end was leaving Thatcher with a bit of time left still to do something. So yeah, right now going into ventilation, which is ventilation is pretty decent, but it has a lot of places where you can get breach from. You have verticality, which is extremely important. You have the bathroom walls. You have all these types of places where you need to protect a lot and cover a lot of ground. Now, of course, extending it to bathroom, but then you have another place to protect, another place to back down. It's extremely complicated. So, I mean, with that in mind, I think we'll be seeing also a lot of bathroom inside. Bathroom is also a pretty compact site to take, and you have to extend a bit more into upstairs, but it's still a little less extensive than, of course, ventilations.
Problem with bottom floor is, yeah, it's good to hold, but I'd rather reinforce that triple wall and focus entirely on top floor. As you said before, the verticality that can be played onto ventilations, especially if you cut off that rotate from vents into workshop, if you cut off the door that you see the IQ next to that window, if you jump in that window, it's a free kill. Obviously from that top floor, it's right behind half wall in armory here, so I assume that the attackers are going to do a very heavy-sided top here. Will this be a kill here?
It
No,
does seem to be very close, but talking about kills, Breezy does manage to take out the Nomad of the team with an MPX shot onto Avak. That's going to be him taking off the board right there. Jazzo trying to pick a gunfight into armory window. Doesn't seem to be succeedingly shooing at the right side. And there's people all around top side getting droned out. Jazzo actually takes out a drone and into getting a bit of a refrag onto Dobrich. Sinji does get taken out. And Jazzo right now, knowing there's a bit of a challenge right there, getting picked off of him, he manages to change positions. Maybe he'll be able to challenge this IQ to its full to its full potential. And right now they're being pretty. qvG doesn't seem to be putting up with a lot of stress, and you know, Vega just needs to step it up a bit. They need to.
This could be dangerous, this peak, couldn't it? With the, just managing to miss a couple of shots. He knows the player's on vents here, but does he know what side? He decides to fall back into Fountain, but there is a player behind him in office, or near office, I should say. He just managed to rotate off the Jaeger does. Oxy D had rotated towards the top of metal stairs. Now they have that all crucial control of top floor, and they can start to rain fire from above.
Just imagine, Pyro, how much fire would have been if Fuse was included. And they're talking about fire. F2 just spat some on us. With also Blex and Shinji getting a bit of a reef on a double kill, making it 2v3 for qvG right now. F2 also getting taken out by Spooky. It's going to be Breezy in a 1v3 right now. Will he be able to do it? He has no C4 in mind, so that's going to be a bit of a vertical push right there. Thatcher being extremely close to get out, and he does actually manage to push up, taking out Blex. That's going to be IQ off the Breezy right now, being pushed from all sides. He tries to take out main stairs. He's very close to challenging. Well, at the same time, both of them playing vertical, and the diffuser dropping off into side. Breezy's right now playing passport side. The Hibana noticing that. It seems Spooky's right now trying to hold him from upstairs, actually managing to shoot out feet. That's going to be round 2 for Vega. Yet again, it's back to back. It seems to be evenly matched, so it's going to be hard to decide yet again on the winner of this one.
Taking that top floor with 1 minute 15 left onto the round, gave Vega Esports so much flexibility to set up that push, to gain the map that early, allows them to say, oh, we can get vertical played here, we can decide what push we want, and they pushed into Workshop, and as we saw, Spooky with that long angle, just cutting off any rotates into sight, and you can get a free pick. But that round was definitely based on the top floor domination, getting it as early. I mean, we saw last map, I should say. It took a while for both teams, to get any sort of control. But this game, it's starting to happen a lot more quickly here. And I hope we see it on this site, as they have gone to a first floor site. Because qvG obviously won the top floor, they can't go to top floor here. They have gone back to their workshop ventilation. I want to see, maybe don't push and rotate into... Wait, that's not workshop, is it? No, that's customs. I was completely wrong. It looked like it was workshop from the over-down view. But they're going to hold breaker security here. They're going to hold into office. I think this is how they hold this round. Play vertical. There is so much that can be seen. As you can see from our spectator here, they're opening up into security, and you see how much of this wall, how much of this roof and floor here is soft.
Yeah, I mean, verticality is going to be included, and we get a bit of a shout out to the casters from Breezy right here, managing to give me a bit of a wave from chat right there. Very nice, thank you. And yeah, verticality here, it's still included. But I mean, last round Vega, Oxy D taking out Dobridge. That's going to be the Bandits. I think he was going with a bit of a cheeky spawn pick, and it didn't end out well for him. And as I was saying, I mean, last time Vega didn't actually manage to put a lot of pressure up until a minute and a half were passed. So let's hope. I mean, doing it a bit faster would work. The execute was phenomenal. At the end, it's still time wasting very dearly. So if qvG would have put up with another kill there, it could have been deadly for the previous round. And right now, Breezy being upstairs, he's gonna go out and challenge Armory, as both players outside of it are on drone, and Sandwich Window is occupied by Avic.
You can do a run out here. There's no sort of denial of that run out. We do see him push it into Sandwich and see if he will find the kill onto top metal. We do see the player playing top metal, playing 90, playing office here. F2 just gives away the sound, and that is a free kill from Avoc onto F2. It's now a 3 versus 5. This is looking very dire from qvG. They've managed to get control 1 minute 40 into the round now. All they need to do is drone out these two players playing top floor, or even realize that there's two players playing top floor. You could push below. And that man is already dead from below. It's a 1 versus 5 situation. This is looking like an easy clutch out here from the side of Vega. And hopefully going to make it 2-1 with that flawless round. Salim's just getting bullied from every single angle. And what do you know? That is a flawless round. That is Vega.
extremely violent right there from Vega. I mean, they took their time and actually executed it probably as with a bit lower than a minute and a half, and 4 players off of Team qvG were already taken out. So that was extremely well played, and the teamwork did end up well. Also, the drone barrages going onto the Kate at the end were just a bit over the top, but the Kate did manage not to keep it. They managed to keep it a flawless from the self, not letting a player go down at the end. And we're going to be going back into upstairs where qvG, I do believe, won their first round.
Yeah, this is the first round of the game. It was that nice and easy top floor hold that we pretty much expect most teams to win, unless there is some sort of early pickoff. The early pickoff, the first kill, especially for a top floor, is the massive indicator on how a round is going most of the time. If qvG get it, they will be a 5-4 up on for this site in particular. A very defensive favour side here. We do see from the observer they have got a very interesting strat here into office. I'm assuming they're just going to rotate into office, hold the triple wall, hold the jump in, and prevent any players from getting that easy push. There is actually, I'd like to say this, there's actually a lot of rotations here. It's a very strange and definitely a strat I have not seen before.
I mean, it's a long range actually sight in hand right here. I mean, from all the way from armor, you can see into break, I do believe so, and CC itself. So it seemed like these handfuls to, take a lot of gunfights, but it's also gonna put a lot of pressure on qvG at the end of the day, as to be careful of each and every one of them as Gazo gets taken out fully, though he's downed and Blake's finishing off. It's gonna be the second round in a row where our players in Passport, what are they doing there each round is what I'm thinking right now. And that's a player off the board very quickly. Dobrit's still holding very strong and trying to prevent any type of verticality from below. He's going to be playing a bit more Passport side and a bit more customs, I guess you could say, as Avoc starts taking that into consideration. And he does get taken out by the Alibi player, matching up the score of the live teammates, and does get absolutely reflagged by Blix in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, as we said before, whoever has the first pick has a massive advantage in this round. And obviously, as we've seen right here, 4 versus 3, with the way that qvG have set up this site, the Shaco doesn't even know where the player is. He hits the alibi there, but oxyD comes out with the kill, and it's a 4 versus 2 situation here. Full health for both of these teams here. Vega Esports definitely have the advantage. He just sneaks in through top metal there. Not being able to react to the sound is breezy. And oxyD gets the kill onto Salim there, cleaning up that round. A 4-0 there. I mean, the 2 of the rounds in a row, we had a flawless the previous round, and this round near perfect as well. I mean, this is definitely a dominating performance here from Vega, going 3-1 up in a game, in a map that I particularly think is more of attacker side of favor here. So qvG definitely need to get these 2 rounds.
I mean, it may be attacker sided, but yet again, we can't know if, qvG feels a bit more comfortable on defense, actually on attack themselves. So if they manage to pull up with these 2 defense rounds and win the next ones, they should be in a pretty comfortable position and an even higher position, especially this being attacker sided. So, I mean, going into bathroom right now, it's going to be very interesting as we're seeing it first. 4 rounds and into the 5th round, we're going to be seeing this site come up first. It's a very compact site and you have to hold it upstairs very dearly, but it has extremely open areas around it. So gunfights being taken are going to be no surprise around it, but going into the site itself is a bit more difficult. Taking everything around it is a lot easier and a lot, a lot more compact, but going into the site itself and, in the danger zone, as we call it, it would be extremely more difficult as the site is made to be like that. You have one window and that's the only way to get in besides the hatch, which should be reinforced and electrified by the Cade himself.
You can push into what we see here where they're rotated into qvG, into Workshop. And obviously there are some angles to watch that corridor between into bathroom that is vital. I think for this flight site in particular, Vega Esports needs to take control of the extension into Workshop and push up floor. So maybe we'll see a a 5-man going towards top floor, clearing out top floor. As we see the opposition, the side of Vega are spawning on a split push here. As soon as they get that top floor, leave 2 people up, the Fuse and the, let's say, the IQ with those breaching charges, or even the Thatcher, you could say, to open up any sort of angles that will be necessary for Vega to cut off rotations, and then the 3 remaining players, the Thinker, the Gridlock, and either the IQ or the Thatcher here, to push into Workshop and get rid of the hold that qvG has here. As we're seeing this playing out, as they're taking top floor here, we hear in the background gunfights are going along. I'm assuming that is from the window where the Fuse is playing right now, since she's taking a lot of damage for his troubles there. But the first deal could come out on the side of Vega, and that is Salim down of the Cade. So if you get rid of these Cades now, there's no more Cades that can be thrown out to prevent any sort of hatch drop.
As long as he did put his utility down before dying, it shouldn't have all gone to waste. But still, the first pick not being the best thing you want. Of course, F2 taking some damage himself, and there not being a Thunderbird or a Doc to get his back, his HP. Since he's still not the best HP, they do have a finger to patch him up a bit, but Verticality is going to come in clutch, and Fuse is going to be extremely powerful here, as there's no Kate on this hatch either, so it's going to be broken pretty quickly, and Fuse is being absolutely used to its full potential, and I love it. Fuse is one of my favorite operators, and you know, he's absolutely satisfying to see, and with a Thatcher in play, Kate is going to be no match. Also, F2 looking even worse than before. The shield is going to be taken out, it seems like. Of course, right now ventilation does seem still secured by the defending side, but it's still F2 with not the HP you would want to prefer. Even with that in mind, he manages to take out Blix, and that's going to be F2 taking his comrade's HP back.
Vega Esports need to take the side of server here, get rid of F2 and the Frost playing with him. They know that site is free here. We have got scratched that actually. Breezy has rotated towards site, but these verticals are going to make it very hard for them to push here. And Spooky gets a kill there, getting the kill onto that Frost. So it is now a 4 versus 3 with F2 on low health. Breezy gets a kill onto Sinchi, and that's a double kill from Breezy. Avok just walks into sight through the window. It's now going towards towards qvG's advantage here. Oxy gets a kill onto Glazo, but F2 and the side of Breezy here gets the final kills they need, and that is the first round in 3 that the defensive side have got here. qvG are now only 2-3 down, 1 round remaining to get that 3-3 split that we saw last round. That we saw last map, I should say.
We did, and Breezy going on a bit of a rampage right there with a triple kill. And, of course, dissing one of his own teammates for not performing at his best. Of course, you gotta love some comrade friendship, I guess you could say like that. But yeah, Breezy going... We're gonna be...
Even worse, it's in chat, not in game, not in game chat. No, in game chat, but not in their actual Discord chat, so...
True.
Questionable.
They're putting it out into the public. They want to let everyone know how they're feeling, I guess. Hey.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
And of course, yeah, going into round 6, we're back into the prep. We can't talk much about what's happening in the prep phase. We can only talk about the structure and the teams. Now, of course, the loadout being still same. We see a Yana, Thatcher, and Finka. Of course, IQ with a mix of Hibana in the middle. We see similar loadouts and a Bandit with a Cade, which is quite interesting. Meaning, you know, they're not gonna allow anything to be breached so easily.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer bringing that Cade that you like so much to use the hard breach gadget, or do you prefer this Hibana pick here? Or if you don't prefer any of those, what other hard breach would you bring instead of Hibana?
I think I would go for personally Ace. Not only has a very good gun, has some smokes to burn out an ADS or two, and of course he can throw the device from afar, so he doesn't need to go into the danger zone. And without, you know, with Thermite, he has to place it down. So while he's placing down the breach, you have to have someone cover you, or you are in a pretty vulnerable position. Someone can run out on you. While Ace, you can just throw it down, and if anyone wants to destroy it, you can cover it yourself. So he's a very useful operator. While he also gets a pretty decent amount of the breach open. Not only that, but he gets it done pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you. Definitely with that AK-12, as he was saying, such a good weapon here. But that all doesn't matter if he gets picked off her, he's already taken a gunfight that he maybe shouldn't have. As the hard breach, you are normally tasked with opening the wall up and not peeking anything. Gozo could go for a beautiful here, but he just gets down. I think that's trash talk has got to him from his own team there. And he's now 0-6. Blixie gets a kill onto Doja. Breezy gets a kill. Reaver back onto Spooky here. It's all popping. Oh, Sinji gets a kill onto Breezy. It's a 2 versus 4 situation. They are going to push into side here. It's Salam and F2 versus the might of Vega Esports here. Salim gets a kill onto Blix, and that's already making it down to a 3 versus 3. Made down 1 versus 3. Oxy gets a kill onto Salim. And it's all up to F2 on that Thorn. He gets a kill onto Oxy D. He doesn't know there's one playing Sandwich. He knows where the other one playing on Breach. He gets a kill onto the Ace. It's now a 1 versus 1. It's F2. And he gets the kill onto Avok. What a triple kill from F2 on the Thorn. What a clutch. I am blown away, making that a 3 versus... It's a 3-3 right now going into the next half. And hey, as my fellow caster said, let's spam the F in the chats.
F2 in the chat, everybody. What a shot. That was a 1v3 clutch. Even with the SMG secondary in hand, he could still take on any challenge brought in front of him. So maybe open, he did not care. He ran past the sandwich window and took on the hard breacher. Absolutely. He could have even went for the or a fake, but he did not. He took on the challenge and managed to 1v3, and that was going to be the 3rd round win, making it a split win on the defense side for qvG, which is extremely good, and that is what they need.
I am blown away. I think the reason he didn't go for the plant is he was like, if I go for the plant, I'm not going to fake because pros don't fake. We all know this. So it is a very bold decision, but he managed to win his gunfights. And if I'm on the side of Vega Esports here, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell just happened?
I think he didn't go for the defuse as well, because he just wanted those extra style points on the end of the league. And he absolutely
wanted to be in the top 5 players of the week.
Yeah, as well.
This reason.
Most definitely. Even with a post plant, he did not care. And we're going to be talking from even at the end of the round. I am calling it that.
What about this round, though? After that 3-3 situation, Vega Esports are now on the defensive side. They are on their, I would say, preferred side here, as they are going to the top floor site. Yes, as our very good observer here is slapping in. Yeah, what's up?
Look at Breezy's operator. We may see some danger right here as Breezy manages to pull out the Spider-Man operator. Amaru herself. This is going to be a quick and rushy take. As well, we have Capital in the play, so are we going to be seeing a bit of a rush? And Dalbridge taking out Blake. That's going to go my off the squad. CC being taken, and so is Break. 90 Ardeen. Oh, very quick take from Team qvG. Small box office being completely left alone. Site is completely empty. What are you doing, Averick? Site is empty. Dalbridge gets taken out, but restrike by Gaza. That's going to be a 2nd pick for him. Breezy almost getting team killed by his teammate Gaza with a triple kill. On to... Yes, English is hard. Spooky being alone down. What can he do? Not much. As Spooky right now tries to get a pick onto the Elsa, she put her shield down. And from 90, he gets taken out by Breezy with the Amaru play. That is going to be a rush from qvG. I am not allowing to Pyro. Pyro, I did not allow you to say a word there. It was just way too much mind-blowing and exciting.
Back to back top 5 players there. Already calling it. Already waiting for the end of the week Twitch. What is going to happen though is we talked about that Amaru, but Amaru's the last person in sight there. So you can talk about rush. I'm going to call that a reverse rush. The hard breaches. The thinker was in first. Got that triple kill. You just had everyone pushing in sight. Now, if you're a keen eye here, what do you see from Breezy again?
We see it yet again. The same operator, same guns, same
sight,
same attitude with an Ella in mind, but does she have a shotgun to back up that close quarter combat? We'll have to see. And I mean, I don't think they're going to be going for a rush again, but Breezy, I think he's just going to 6-pick to a different operator, as of course it wouldn't be the best plan. We do see a bit more of a careful playstyle with a nomad in play, of course. But Brazy maybe going into a sandwich window, we'll have to see. Of course, Gazzo, he may have been, dogged down by his teammate 0-7, but at the end of the day, he managed to triple kill in the previous match, or the round, should I correct myself. So,
all
he
those
corrected
haters.
his teammates.
For all those haters, 3-7, that triple kill, and what a triple kill it was.
True. Very true.
I mean, we do have that Ella. He still hasn't shown us which one he's got there. Which one she's got, I should say. Is it that FO9 or is it that beautiful, beautiful SMG? The top floor site, again, they're holding into office. I mean, we did see last round that the Observer was trying to tell us they had a shield onto top of metal. And is that the same again? No, they've reinforced and they haven't opened it this side. I don't think there's going to be a rush, but everyone's sprinting here, so who knows? It could be a rush straight through that single door. We have got the golden stick on that Iana, so it could happen here. But I don't think it will. I think they'll just open it up here and try and grenade off these players. I mean, there's only one player playing by that double wall, is there?
I mean, Allah doesn't have the frick off 9, so it doesn't seem like
Might
that
be.
will be coming into play. But yeah, right now, person on Dobrich getting taking out F2, a fellow teammate, but Sinji getting taken out as well. Blaze going for Breezy take out. That's going to be a 3. Plant going into Nile Gazel with another. Avox is taking damage, and Gabble's with a second pick of the match on a triple. Will he be able to secure the quad one after another? It's going to be back-to-back for him, and he's going to be able to hit the qual with 7 kills in 2 rounds. Gazel disproved his teammates completely with winning both of the rounds. It's like, and that is going to be a rush back after back. What is happening?
I was very questionable because obviously QVG got that didn't get the Gon 6 out in time. I think they actually missed the Gon 6 going in for the kill, and they got a TK off. But Gazzo, the big man himself, comes off with that 4K. 4K and 3K in 2 rounds. I mean, we're seeing the same thing again. That same lineup of Ace, Thinker, Nomad, Yana, and Amaru. Amaru has not gone through sandwich window yet, but we do see a different site this time. And I would say on this map, definitely the hardest site to rush on. All you can really do is do it for a top floor maybe, or you all go through that single teller's window.
What is happening? It's been 2 rounds, and they have not learned the mistake yet. And, Vega just let 2 rounds pass by, and if qvG takes another one, they're going to be going match point with a better score, it seems like, than the last one. And Breezy's still pretty confident with that Amaru. Maybe he'll be going on a vertical rush. Who knows? But yet again, we do not have a Frost. So what is there to stop him? Not a Capcan, not a Frost, not a Legion.
Gazzo!
And there he is going on to get some revenge after his teammates absolutely busted down his dream of, having good kills.
No, I mean, he got Salim 2-6. So, I mean, you could say, but even you could crash on the enemies here, Avoc 1-7. I'm not saying he's had a bad game. He's been a very vital operator here. It's just the last 2 rounds that they've got absolutely slammed, and maybe we'll see something similar. They are all running again. Whenever the side of QVG run, we know what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna come, Puffer.
Only one person is in sight, so if they just won't go through that window, they will not be doing. But if they did, I think that would have been another successful rush. But it's not going to be happening as Breezy's already on East balcony going into lunge. There's someone on 90 right near waiting for him, and he does not realize it as he actually gets taken out by Blex on the MPX. That's going to be another kill for him. And of course, dropping down, Dobrich also gets taken out by S4, instantly making it a 3-5 situation. Blex, your HP does not seem to be favoring you at all.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, he took the advantage. He got the kills he needed. And it's put themselves into a 5 versus 3 situation here. The rush, they didn't go for the rush this time, and what happens? Vega Esports comes out on top. I mean, Gazzo's taking a bit of damage there, but he is the Thinker player. He has still got, I would assume, 3 boosts. We will let you know when we can see it, but there's not a lot happening now. It's definitely slowing down a lot. They know where he is, and this Nitro is going to come out, but it's going to be absolutely misfired here. The Sledge is just going for these beautiful, beautiful vertical play. That is where the ADS, the Nitro is, isn't it? If they know where he is, It's very tricky here. They can't get the Nitro because Sledge is going to keep rotating off. As when you Sledge from above, you automatically rotate off because someone could be sitting right under the vertical play that you made and get a free kill.
The Nitro going off right now would be actually excellent. And Blake still with not the favorable HP. Havoc does take out Selim, and that's going to be Dazzle not with F2 stuck in a 2v5 situation. Will they allow it to be a flawless one? Echo being a bit of an annoyance. F2 denying the flawless round for a Vega Esports. The Finka boost removing the Echo sight, and Mozzie backing out. Actually, the Mozzie, yeah, backing out the last second before picking off Gazzo. Does Gazzo know someone's right there next to him? I don't think he does. He gets some intel, pushes on the Valkyrie, and she's not looking at the right side. Looking taking out F2 right there, and right now Gazzo's in a 1v2 predicament with 20 seconds remaining.
He can still win this. He has got no finger charge, so that will be his final remaining HP. Shinji on the Echo is a massive thing, especially with 13 seconds left. He gets the kill onto Spooky. That's a triple kill. It all could come down to this. He does not know where the player is. He sees the rotate here, but he has two 50-50 option here. He picks for it. He sees it, but he just doesn't shoot. Shinji gets the kill onto Gazzo. And what a round for the defenders. As I said, that 50-50 chance. He picked the right way, but he second-guessed himself. He didn't go for the frag, and what happens? Vega get the round, putting it back up to a 5 versus 4, and they are starting to claw their way back, starting to level up this game. We will see something similar. But Breezy's just trolling on attack. He loves these one-off players. We see the exact same lineup, except for F2 going on to the ace. But Blitz with the Breezy there.
You know, we haven't been seeing much Frost, which means right now if they rush through a window, they should be completely fine if at least there's a lot more roam presence than presence on
And the
site.
3 Nitros.
True, Nitros are on presence, but don't forget that two of the operators that do have Nitros are mostly on the roaming side, so using them will be a bit more difficult. And of course, if there will be an IQ in play, it should be a bit more safe. And yeah, Breezy going still with the Blitz. An absolute mad lad, it seems like any challenge given to him. And yeah, we're going to have to see if it's going to be another rush. The second they stop rushing, it doesn't seem to work out anymore. So yeah.
I think they've only got a rush strap top floor. I think that is the reason they're not rushing here. For this site alone, you should play a lot more safer. You should go for the vertical angles. We see 2 players playing top floor. They're still reinforcing with 13 seconds left on the round though. But talking about attack and repick side here, we've got the Sledge and we got the Nomad.
5 seconds to go.
We do.
What
And
could happen there?
Attackers
I
objective.
mean, Nomad, of course. It doesn't seem like they're going for a rush. With the Blitz in mind, it could be an opportunity, but Blitz is just a good operator. Maybe it's just a part of their mindset, and they want to have a walking fast drone, you know, backing them up. And Nomad being in play, don't want much. You want to remove as much flank presence as you want, so Nomad is always used. And Sledge for verticality, as they know where they are. It's always good to have some nades in hand, especially that hammer, which can be very useful, but of course countered with a perfectly timed C4. And it's gonna have to be that situation for them, as if that Sledge manages to pull off enough damage, it should be very difficult. Now, though, it's still they played on mostly CCM, and there is not much roam presence on the second floor, so it's gonna be very hard to deal with that. Of course, there's still 3 C4s like you've mentioned, but right now F2 staying on solid ground, which cannot be C4'd on. And actually moving on from there, they're trying to take, you know, as much advantage, and it's barely below a minute or above a minute, and Breezy with a pistol finishing off the Malusi of Team Vega.
They have got that Valkyrie. So Nitros are a massive advantage here. As Salim just goes on to that position there, he sees the Valk cam, so he can get rid of it, but that is 1 Nitro down, and they know they have a Blitz. Gozzo gets killed, they go for a plant here! Blitz is already in sight, they don't know what's going on here. As soon as this, you can get perfect vertical here, and now the retake is going on for the side of Vega. They've got so much vertical presence here. Dober gets the kill onto Spooky. It's a 4 versus 3. And Nitro comes out from Blix onto Salim. It's now a 3 versus 3. You have Breezy outside here, who's just going to protect him. They can't do anything. They've got a shield on the window, and they're trying to rotate here. Beautiful kill from Blix onto Joby. It's just a shield and the Sledge. The Sledge is getting flanked by one of the players, and Sledge gets the kill onto OXD. It's a triple kill for Blix here. He's going to try. He has to go out here. 10 seconds, 9 seconds. He's going to go for the defuse here. Oh, what he has to do. No! qvG gets a kill onto Breezy. There's nothing he could do there. He had to go for the kill onto that diffuser. As if he killed the player who was defusing, they would have won. They wouldn't have enough time to get the diffuser down. But the Sledge is just too good at hitting his shots. And Vega Esports brings it up to level. I mean,
It was
Breezy.
really sad to watch out. It was an unsatisfying dream. Breezy had it. I mean, Yana could have stayed upstairs with Sledge, and I think they would have had it in the bag without a problem. Of course, she could have watched flanks, even with a still on play, they wouldn't have to worry about that. So the question is, why Yana pushed down to main stairs where she is most vulnerable from mostly 2 plus 3, 4 positions from main door and the window on the side. It's extremely. It doesn't seem like the smart idea. They had it in planned and they had it also in the bag, but Yana right there, that was not the move you wanted to make.
It was tough. Going in
It
for that
was.
early plant, you need to set up positions of power. They had the top floor, but Vega Esports just managed to get off, managed to take up the top floor. And that just ultimately helped them in the long run. They are going back to the top floor site, so I'm going to ask the question, will we see a rush again?
Nope. I'm calling it.
Nope.
I think they want to play a bit more safe. We see even Breezy switching off. I think they've realized that rushing may not be the best, as Vega just makes some sort of a switch that gives them the upper hand and wins them the round. So it's going to be a bit of a tough situation right there. But, of course, with the prep phase being over, we're going to have to see. We're just going to have to see. I mean, maybe we're going to be seeing a bit of a mock on Armory Rush sometime in the future, but not quite yet. As, of course, default Valkyries are being placed, drones are getting destroyed, and it's all coming down in a beautiful play, as you'd call it. Now, the previous round was so kind of sad. I'm really sad.
Grenades, though.
True.
Will we see vertical grenades? That's what I want to see. All of this site is soft, so you do have the potential of going below if you're on the side of qvG and using these frag gates before you. You have the utility, you have the Yana, you have the Twitch, you have the multiple drones to get rid of this player. And I mean, they've got... What's interesting here is that shield that we just saw from the side of Vega onto 90. They need the important thing about that is they need to hold security, they need to hold break, as there is a rotate. We do see a player playing break here, and he just doesn't manage to get the kill onto Salim there, and F2 gets the kill onto OXD. So qvG are managing to be up here. That's playing close. Avok with the shotgun there, just managing to not see the player as that weapon is just too big there. F2 get a kill on qvG. Gazo getting a kill onto Blix. It's all falling apart for the side of Vega here. It's a 5 versus 2 situation. What's going to happen? They got control of 90 here. They got control of Office. They're definitely going to go for an A-bomb push here. They've only got one player to dislodge from his location, and that shotgun just doesn't down him. A triple kill from F2. It's a 1 versus 5 situation. They know where A-Rock is, right behind the bomb, and F2 with the 4K and the flawless round. Ooh. I mean, I was going to try and pass it off to you there, but there was so much stuff happening.
Understandable. I did the same. Like, you can't stop. You get grabbed in, and you just cannot stop talking. It's a phenomenal go through. And the 4K on F2 was absolutely amazing as well. With the Finka backup, it just allowed him to go through. It's the ultimate combo. A gun plus Finka boost can just destroy. And we're going to be having a bit of a timeout question mark from
It's
Vega.
tactical. Definitely a tactical timeout.
Tactical timeout. And yeah. That in mind, that was
6-5 though, qvG.
Ooh. Man, F2, you need to calm your horses and you need to take a chill pill, because you just proved us all right. You're absolutely
Taking it from
dominating.
Gazo. He's getting rubbed off. Gazzo's just rubbing his shoulder, saying, "I've carried you enough now. I was 0-6 before, but now I am in double kills. I'm double figures. I'm just gonna shake this off to someone else. Take the weight off my back. I mean, F2's on 12 kills. Gazzo's on 11. Breezy's on 10. There's just so many high fraggers from the side of qvG here that it's going to be impossible to bring out a player of this match. Brother, I'm going to give that honor to you because I have no clue at this point who's picked.
Look, Pyro, Breezy is now fragging the most, and if I say Gazzo or F2, he's going to come from ahead. And
Look at Blix. Look at Blix, though. 13 and 8 on Vega. Obviously, Vega won that first match, and he was such an influential player alongside qvG. So this could go any way this round. Obviously, Vega Esports need to win it here.
Yeah.
They need to get this round.
all or
They
nothing.
need to secure this. It is all or nothing at this point. It's like what's the saying on TV? I forgot what commercial
It's
this
for
is
all
from.
the marbles.
I think there's a commercial that says it's all for it's nerf or nothing.
Oh, it's nerf
That's
or
the left of that.
nothing.
It's nerf or
Whoa.
nothing. I got it to me. We haven't even
Love
talked
to
about
see.
this round though. I mean, the side of Vega have gone to their favourite, but
What? Salim in sight? What?
I'm not so worried, but qvG have come down from that gunfight as Singe gets the refrag. And I believe, yeah, this is a double kill for qvG on top floor. qvG does get punched out from Gazo here. It's a 2 versus 3 situation.
What just happened? Can we talk about the ace in sight in a matter of seconds? Left with choice, but go in and dominate. And right now, of course, guys are being in a 1v3 situation. Will he clutch it up like he did once before? I believe it was Gazo, or it was it Piezo that actually clutched up with the secondary SMG. A flick through the wall onto Blix. That's going to be a very interesting match right here. An absolute dominant shot with a minute and 45. He still has time to work out with everything. Avok right now camping him out, but he's going through passport. Giving us a bit of a teabag right here, giving a stomp on the floor. He's going to read us an article. It seems like we're through a lot of interesting things. What is he going to tell us? It seems like we're going through a bit of a story right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to come down to these last 1 minute 24. I actually thought there was a lot less, but everything happened so quickly here. Avok and Sinji versus the might and power of Gazzo here. He just doesn't know where they are, though. He's in customs here. He's got one to his left, and he's got one to his right. The echo's coming out. He does get the kill onto Avok. It's a triple kill for Gazzo. Can he make it a 4K to win this round? It's Gazzo versus Sinji. He does get down, but he has that all-important finger boost. It does nothing for him as Vega wins the round, and it is now 6-6. Woo!
Holy
I
heat.
can't remember if this league actually ends at 6-6 or it does go to OT. Definitely OT on major, as I've been corrected from my producer. Thank you very much. So it all goes down to this. Remember, Vega Esports won 7-5. So they need to win. qvG, all they can do is salvage a point here, and I think this has been very well deserved. I couldn't split these teams apart. qvG won both of their rounds from that rush side, wasn't it? 2 rounds from the rush and won that last round. Nearly coming out clutch from Gazzo here. But I definitely think qvG prefers their attack.
I think we're sweating as casters more than the actual players from what we're being brought in front of us right here. But yeah, most definitely qvG with the rushes, with the wonky attacks, I guess you could say, have been absolutely dominating, and they're going to be doing it yet again. I hope to see something like it. And Breezy not going in on a Maru, but a bit more of a gridlock action type. Will he be able to pull off another stunning plant? We'll have to see ourselves, as the site is ventilation, and we're going to be seeing a bit of a very split up. No one on
It's
site.
going to be
currently.
top floor, I think. They will go top floor. They do see the vault cams. It all depends if they reinforce that wall. They haven't got the hatch open in small office here.
10 seconds to
If you were playing top floor, you would normally have that open as a rotate, wouldn't you?
Most
insert
definitely.
before insertion.
But not for them. Not for them at least. They want to burn utility even after they've been pushed out. They want to take precaution in any type of situation they can. And yeah, right now we're going into action phase. We're just going to be taking CC and break like most of the time. It seems like F2 just, it's the same loadout we've taken on CC, taken on Break, and of course the Sledge rappelling up to main upstairs. And we see a fusion action, which is, going first in like that with Fuse is extremely risky, as if you get taken out, there's a lot of things on your shoulder you want to bring in, as Fuse's dominant Hellfire he can bring is absolutely destructive. So, you want to keep him alive, you want to keep him in the play, and an ADS without anyone upstairs is surely surprising, and right now, Linux with a very nice angle, and he has not been shot out, but F2 getting C4 from below by OxyD, very surprising play.
I mean, that is F2 gone, that is the Sledge gone, that is your vertical play gone, and that's one of your top fraggers here. That is a trade! Bixer Salam get a nice and easy trade off there. That's the ace gone, so no hatches being opened here, except for the fuse. Breezy has to waste the fuse, but obviously there is Sinji here with the Goyo, with the Nitro, that could put definitely the fuse out of very mix here. Sinji is down though, so that's the Nitro off the board. And will he get finished though? That is the all important thing. At the moment it's a 3 versus 4, but this could be a 3 versus 3, and hatches are more importantly being able to be open without any sort of pressure. He just gets baited! Avok baiting Sinji there, but gets a kill out of it from Dogebury. And that is the IQ god. It's now a 4 versus 2 situation, although Sinji is very low health from that down we saw earlier. Fuse is going to open sights, but he doesn't see the player. Oh, Spooky playing in that bathroom there. It's now a 1 versus 4 situation. Breezy, he's had such a good game, but can he clutch out this 1v4 position? We have seen Gazo get 4Ks. We've seen quite a lot of 4Ks this game, but now it's up to Breezy. He's getting killed from behind. He doesn't realize Oxy D has pushed up metal stairs, and he just, with that ult crouch walk, that ult wall is just so OP, not being able to be heard, and even when you hear him, it's way too late. And that is Vega.
God. I mean, for qvG, it was looking pretty decent at the mid-term, but then, of course, the C4s came in, and, of course, it was a 1v3 at the end there. Of course, Breezy not being able to do much. It doesn't seem like he was having too bright of a time. The Fuse being very strong and actually downing the... But the downed comrade being used as bait to find a pick for another. Malusia, of course, the gadget also coming in clutch with the sound verification that someone is there. And it managed to even turn the on the entire match. So yeah, right now, qvG yet again in a spot like Chalet, they are fighting for everything. If they win right now, they have another chance. But if not, they are going to walk out of here with nothing. So we're going to have to see if they can manage to pull out in time. All or nothing. Exactly.
I won't say the words again. I've tortured you guys far too much. But qvG going back to their favourite site here of the bathroom. The interesting thing about qvG is that, did they actually win top floor?
qvG, I do believe they did not.
No, so, I mean, why am I using that word
no,
again?
no, qvG,
No, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they won one round where I do believe it was Dobridge or Gazo that actually managed to clutch a 1v post plant. Was it?
No, that was the one that was on top floor, wasn't it? When qvG, I can't remember actually. I'd have to check up. I'm sorry about not writing this stuff down. That's a very bad thing on me. But we do see the same thing we saw as last time with the rotate into workshop. They're doing the extension, but they're not holding top floor. This allows Vega to push in. The thing though, they haven't got any sort of soft breach. The only soft destruction they have is the 6 breach charges that are on the IQ and on the Thatcher, which is a very risky play when you have 2 Nitros on the side of qvG.
It's not the most beneficial, and also FT taking out someone by getting absolutely refrag on the side of Avog. That's going to be the Dreadlock out of the game, and so will the Thorn, but one would bring a lot more utility than the other who has already placed it down, we can assume. So, it was a trade-off, and Finka taking off some HP, having to use her Adrenaline Surge. It's going to be a bit of a better trade-off on qvG's side. Now, of course, with with a minute barely going by, Gato gets taken out almost by his teammate, but peeking Blix, and that's going to be him taking 4-3 with barely a minute running by on the clock. It's going to be going down very quickly, and it seemed like qvG in clutch, or I should say crutch, situations don't seem to actually back down. They seem to fully push forward and keep that engine going. So
Punched me
RCD
too
right now
much.
being very close down and getting flanked from all
Oh,
sides. He does take out Dobridge, who wants to take a gunfight with the Jaeger, aka Geizo, but Jaeger does manage to back down, and that's gonna be Salem right now taking a heavy amount of damage, barely Leather peeking again and getting fully finished. Same with Gazo.
Could be it though, couldn't
Again,
it? I mean, it's a 1 versus 3 situation. Breezy on very lot of health there. He does get the kill onto Avoc. Spooky and OxyD are relatively low health here. They are both on top floor. Breezy is full health here and has got site control. Does he have that nitro? No, he used his nitro earlier in the round. They haven't got hatch up. They have got control of workshop. We do see the outline. I believe that is Spooky here, rotating down and is gonna push into workshop here. No, he's just gone towards this hatch here. They can't open that hatch, remember. They haven't got any sort of breaching charge. They haven't got any sort of hard breach charge here. So it is all up to the soft breach charge and that Thinker. Thinker has no adrenal boost though.
30 seconds left remaining. They're going to have to push together and go for a refrag or a hold. And Breeze is going to be there most certainly to deny it if he manages to hit his headshot. That Frost official get taken out, but Spooky does manage to refrag, and that is going to be the second match. One from Vega's side. That's going to be it for today.
GG, especially in the chat. 8-6, and what a map that is. Vega coming out with the 2-0 leading map, and that does give them the full 3 points they were looking for. Both matches were so close. I thought that qvG could have got the refrag there, could have got that double kill. Especially, I thought it was so close to walking back towards that frost mat. You see the 2 frost mats as you walked over that hole, the breach hole there. Not the breach hole, but the barricade. What is it? The deployable shield. You saw the 2 breaches. So it could have gone anyway that last round. It was all back and forth action. And not only that round, but the entire map. We had such good clutches. Multiple 4Ks, multiple 3Ks, multiple flicks, multiple long angles, Puffo. What a game.
I mean, in my heart, qvG still did get more style points with the rushes and goofy plays we've seen from both teams. Even the trash talking getting backed up by Gainesville a bit more late in the round with his Finka gameplay. It was, at the end, it was extremely close, but not close enough. And that is going to be the win from Vega's side. It was
Close
extremely
but no
fun to watch,
cigar.
though.
As I say, close but no cigar in the end, is it? A beautiful match, a beautiful matchup. And more importantly, as I mentioned at the start, that is Vega's first win. So they are now 1-0-2. And qvG 1-0-1. So now that levels them up in points, which is an even bigger result from the side of Vega there. So I have to say, hats off. Hats off to Vega there.
Yeah, most definitely. It's being closer and closer every time. And I mean, they're gonna have a difficult time like this, of course, in the future. But yeah, it was really, it was an even match. I guess these teams are extremely close, but it came down, of course, one of the rounds, I guess you could say the blitz round, came down to, of course, the Yana dropping main, the sludge not being able to back it up. It was all these small details that, or gaps that the other team took advantage of and managed to win. But yeah, that's what kind of took advantage in the end and the upper hand. So I guess that's what you could call tactical strategizing.
I mean, if you haven't got any more, think more. I would just like to say one last thing about staff signups. If you want to be a caster like me or Puffo here, or many of the other casters you've seen, if you're more into observing, more into producer, then make sure to join our Discord and talk to the lovely production manager Epson, also our producer today. We also had Wumbi in the background on the observing here. So big round of applause for those lot. And thank you for helping out with us today. But as I mentioned, staff signups are available. Make sure to come down. I have been Pyro, and this here is my good friend and fellow caster Puffo.
Hello.
Beautiful match to watch and to observe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is goodbye for now. I'll see you for tomorrow's game. That is at 6:45 CEST. And tomorrow's cast, if I believe, I will be there. as normal. And we will also have Wumby on the cast. And that is a major and a minor cast, but there will be a 1 hour gap between that tomorrow's stream. So be sure to join in tomorrow at 18:45 CES. So that is the first game, the minor, is Invictum versus Yod Esports, which will be a cracker. And the major game, which is the one we're all here for, is to be T4 versus Maestria Esports. So make sure to check that out. Or Vivid United, as they have now been renamed. So that has been me and Puffo, as we said, as I forgot to mention the actual game. Sorry for the long cast off here. Goodbye.
Bye bye.